30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
How long Dan Lanning staying at Oregon? Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Started off the show with a little college football because, Pearl, we found ourselves in this discussion. This is like a barroom, newsroom discussion about college football coaching, and then specifically Dan Lanning. So you are going to have Big Noon. Fox is going to be covering Oregon Northwestern.
Oh, yeah. Throw out the record book. The history there.
Yeah, Big Ten battle.
I mean, let's face it, Northwestern should be covering Oregon as journalists, not covering them on the football field.
Ouch. And, you know, obviously Dan Lanning has become one of the darlings of college football, and he has earned that because his success at Oregon, they have not won a ring yet, but his success at Oregon, you can clearly see, his impact. But here's the question. Number one, is he going to stay there for a decade? Because for as great as some of the Oregon coaches have been at Oregon, there's been some duds also, they generally leave, and it's not considered one of the blue blood programs of college football. That's not to say it's not impressive. That's not to say it's not well funded. It's not to say it's not a factor. I'm not belittling Oregon when I say it's not a blue blood, but you do not put it in the same conversation as far as history is concerned with like Notre Dame and Michigan. I think a lot of football fans would not put Oregon in that same historical list.
Right.
And it's not a diss. It's just like, that's where they are. They're the new blue bloods, one of the new blue bloods. And so is there a thought, and obviously Alabama is a tangential part of this because of Kalen DeBoer losing to Florida State, and we'll see what happens with having to replace Nick Saban. Is that even a great place to go, coaching Alabama right now, which is one of those blue blood programs? And do you think that Dan Lanning is better off staying at Oregon, or do you think he has to go to one of those blue bloods is that like the next rung up the ladder, or is he as high up in college football as you get?
Yeah, I mean, like, is Nebraska blue blood? Of course, I guess. Is Oklahoma blue blood? Yeah, but they're not even in the same category with Oregon right now. Like, Oregon blows them away. I would think, first of all, Dan Lanning already turned down Alabama last year, and that was a better opportunity than this year. So if they fired Kellen DeBoer and paid that massive buyout, why would Dan Lanning go now if he said no last year? Because it's become very clear in the new NIL world that Alabama is not Alabama. They are not going to be able to outspend a team like Oregon. So follow the money. Of course, Oregon's a top 5 situation in the whole country, probably.
Yeah, so as far as like blue bloods and who is on this list, we did this a while ago, and our pal Andy Staples, who we really like and we respect, had a lot more maybe blue bloods and pop maybe I would have put on the list, but his list was Alabama, Florida State, Georgia, LSU, Michigan, Oklahoma is on that list, Miami, Notre Dame, Texas, Ohio State, Tennessee, and USC. The notable snubs there were Nebraska, Florida, and Penn State. So this is like kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah, but those are definitely not like that might be blue bloods historically, but those are not the best jobs. Like nobody's clamoring for those jobs over Oregon. Like Florida State is not a better job than Oregon.
Totally.
Like nobody, and Oklahoma is not a better job than Oklahoma. Like they have Brent Venables.
Well, Oklahoma might be back this year with John Mateer, but
they have no sustained success, right? So like history, sure, but like this is a new world. There's no way those schools are ahead of Oregon. Some of them are, but most of them are not.
So do you think that we're watching a guy like Dan Lanning? I want to play some of his latest locker room speech that they put out recently because it's good. This guy makes you want to run through a wall for him. He's got it.
There's no reason to leave Oregon for those kind of programs.
Okay, so he's a young coach. I mean, Dan Lanning is young in his career, especially with college coaching. Bill Belichick is on the sidelines, for goodness sakes. He's 72, 73. you think he just stays there?
I don't think, honestly, I mean, obviously, Florida will make a massive run at him this offseason. I'd be surprised if he left Oregon. If he leaves Oregon for the SEC, I'd be surprised. I think NFL would be the next logical step, not another college program. Because I could be wrong. In 6 months, he could be hired in Gainesville. But I think, why would you leave Oregon? What's a better program?
Well, I mean, again, it goes back to not everyone on that Blue Bloods list, but like even say in the NFL, for example, right, where there's a salary cap and where you don't have any, in theory, you have no other advantages besides what every team can offer, right?
That's pros, not college.
This is pros, as I'm saying, though. As far as there's 32 teams in the NFL, they can all offer the same thing. This is not recruiting. You all offer the same thing. Yet there are still teams in the NFL that matter more than other teams. Like, there are still teams in the NFL that I would consider, like, because of a historical reason or whatever, there still is maybe a little bit more cachet with those teams as opposed to other teams. And that's with all things being equal. So for Dan Lanning, even in college football, if he's got, and again, this sounds like a dig at Oregon. It's not meant to be. But is there a thought, does he have this pie in the sky, like the fact that Alabama has the type of history? He was a grad assistant in Alabama, worked for Nick Saban, who's not there anymore. But still, is there any of that pull of history, even if you may not be at the same advantage that, Phil Knight's money gets you?
Well, we have our answer.
What?
He was the front runner. He clearly could be in Alabama right now. He said, no, thank you.
Yeah, well,
there's no doubt he was the number one choice. He pulled himself out of it, but
totally. But that
so the answer is clearly no.
See, I think there was more to it than that.
What?
Timing. I don't want to be the guy after the guy. It's
right.
challenging.
But you're still going to be the guy after the guy for a long time there.
But not like Kalen DeBoer is taking a lot of the shrapnel right now. Don't you think?
I think he needs to take a little more before that job becomes safe. But yeah,
okay.
I see what you're saying.
More guys
timing is. Yeah. I get when you say timing. Like, is it soon enough? But also too. But you can't ignore, Maggie, the money. There was I looked
for
up
the coach or for the program.
The program. There was I saw A.J. McCarron, the former Alabama quarterback, said, if we're lucky, we're spending $20 million on the program. And I know as a fact their program's spending $50 million. That's less than half. And I mean, that's been why do you think Nick Saban left? Alabama doesn't have the money. Maybe they'll get it someday, but you're not going to go from a $200,000 Tesla to a $75,000 Cadillac. There's just more resources right now at Oregon than Alabama. Don't you think? I mean, just eyeballing it.
Yeah, I know the crying poor from Alabama, first of all, after losing to FSU, I felt like was a little, and that's when A.J. McCarron, who I respect and is really good at broadcasting, it felt a little like excuse making.
But why would Alabama have more money than Alabama? That's the reality of the NIL. It's like, how is Alabama going to outspend Texas? It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, but see, here's the thing. You still do have these NIL opportunities, right? You can still make money. The players can still make money in these marketing deals.
Okay.
So playing for Alabama still brings you a cachet, visibility. Yeah. There is all the things that you get with a historic program, you will get at Alabama. You are going to get eyeballs. You're going to be constantly in the spotlight. So whether it's coming from the athletic department or whether it's coming from whatever comes on top of it, I find it hard to believe that Alabama's just getting completely left in the dust here. They don't have two nickels to rub together. That is how it's being painted. Because
Oregon invented this game. Honestly, this is you're talking about marketing. Who would possibly have an advantage over the Oregon Ducks? They're really the innovators.
Then why haven't they won? I mean, they went 13-0 last year. They got pretty dang close, and they lost to Ohio State. I get it, but
yeah, but you're talking about on the marketing end, they're high end. Here's where I think you and I differ. Anything that happened in the 120, I don't know when the college football started, 120 years before NIL is now gone. Now we have a new universe. And listen, Tommy Tuberville and certain senators are trying to claw it back to the old way, and it ain't happening.
No, it's not.
Now that we have open payment. I think, and it's not going to be the NFL. There's not going to be a salary cap, at least for now. That I just think that the big, rich schools are going to have an advantage here. And I don't know. Listen, there's a lot of competition in the Southeast. I think there's a reason the SEC is all of a sudden struggling. I think that it's going to be hard in the new NIL world for like the quote unquote blue bloods to be dominant like they used to be. Like Alabama was great in the old system. Are they going to be great in the new system? We don't know yet. Could they be like, you mentioned all the other blue bloods, how all of them disappeared. Nebraska disappeared. Oklahoma disappeared for a long time. Notre Dame hasn't won a title in 40 years. Miami disappeared. Florida State disappeared. College football is very cyclical, and I feel like Alabama's about to hit their Mike Shula stage.
Oh, boy.
And I was high on Kellen DeBoer.
Yeah, right.
But I don't think the sustained success they had under Saban, can you do that in the new universe where there's so much money around? Like, look at Texas. Look how many 5-stars they're paying for. I don't know. I just don't think they're going to have the money. And I think Lanning knows that.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Asking you today, is Dan Lanning going to be at Oregon for the next decade plus? I mean, the guy's in his 40s. Like, he could do this forever if he wants to.
But I mean, what about the NFL?
Okay, so, let's talk about the NFL, right? I think that will always be there for him.
Yeah.
What I anticipate in this new world of NIL is it's going to actually be the basketball coaches that are flocking to the NBA more than maybe even the college football coaches are flocking to the NFL. And the reason why I say that is because of Alabama. And I was thinking about this the other day when Alabama loses to FSU in the way that they did in the opener. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about all the limited resources. I love this. The limited resources that Alabama has. It's still hard for me to wrap my brain around the fact that they're now crying poor. But let's put that to the side. If they truly don't have enough, they feel to compete.
Yeah.
Where do you think they're going to start taking from? Forget it. The basketball program's getting bupkis now. And so if I'm like a great college basketball coach in the SEC or in the Big Ten or whatever, if my football program, heaven forbid, loses a game on the road when they're a 14-point favorite or whatever they were at FSU, basically that just napalmed the Alabama basketball program. So if I'm a basketball coach, I'm definitely going to the NBA. If I'm a football coach, I still think that I'm getting all the resources they possibly have going into my program. So I'm not maybe as quick to say, all right, if I'm Dan Lanning, I got to jump to, go coach the Carolina Panthers or whatever.
I'm trying to think of your logic makes sense, but are there any like college coaches that the NBA is sniffing around other than Danny Hurley? Like who are the?
Well, Nate Oates would probably be a guy at Alabama. Like if I were Nate Oates, I'd leave.
Who's the last guy? Like how many in the last offseason were any college coaches hired?
Well, I mean, you do have Billy Donovan is still in the league. That
was 20 years ago.
I know, but he's been in the NBA now for a while.
I remember
John
Lon
Beeline
Kruger.
might be the last one.
What's that?
John Beeline might be the last one.
And that was a disaster.
Yeah, I feel like.
Great.
Yeah, I feel like because college basketball, like, first of all, can the average person name 3 college basketball coaches? The glory days of college, they all retired. So I don't know that that's going to happen. But the other thing, too, you said this thing about one thing I totally disagree with, this blue blood NFL program. What are the blue blood NFL programs to look at their coaches? You have the Dallas Cowboys hired the lowest wattage coach known to mankind in Brian Schottenheimer. The Giants are presumably blue blood. They have Brian Dable. And meanwhile, Jim Harbaugh goes to the Chargers, who have no history. So I think anybody, I don't think the NFL works like on the blue blood system at all. I think money speaks here. And that's why I think Dan Lanning, if he's smart, just stay at Oregon. Maybe he wants to get a free agent deal and sign with Florida or something, but I don't know, like what's missing in Oregon in the new world? Nothing. He can recruit in California. He's got all the money in the world. He's got the best facilities, probably top 5 facilities.
Yeah, it's beautiful there.
So
everything is gorgeous. Right.
I just don't see like Alabama. Like, why would you go down there? Because you're competing in a much more competitive space. You're in the SEC. You have to play Georgia every year. He's not going to get Georgia where he was an assistant. So I'd be surprised if he went there. If he went to Florida. If he went to LSU, maybe LSU after Brian Kelly because he'll pay through. But I don't know. If he stays in college, I would be Oregon. Do you think he'll leave?
I just find it, when I think about it, it does make all the sense. You are pointing out some great points, but do I really think Dan Lanning, who's this young in his career, is this going to be a guy like, is he the Kirk Ferentz of now Oregon, where he's just going to stay at one place forever and ever and ever and ever?
No, probably not. I mean, Chip stayed how long? Like 4 years or something? Chip reinvented college football, then left for the pros.
I think Chip Kelly, though, wanted to go to the pros. I don't know if Dan Lanning has that. And now Chip's obviously, toggled back and forth. Ohio State, now he's with the Raiders. Looking
but
good
everybody
with Geno
wants
Smith.
to go to the pros.
Oh,
I mean, Nick did. Saban did.
Yeah, that's true, and it didn't work out, and he's back.
If Ryan Day keeps losing to Michigan, he'll end up in the pros.
He's won a national title. This guy cannot catch a break.
I think there's a certain transition. I kind of disagree. I think the transition from in football to the pros makes more sense because all the college football coaches say they're working too hard. So
They get burnt out.
They're burnt out, so maybe they go to the pros where
I'm sure the work-life balance in the pros is really healthy.
I think
don't
also
so.
there's an esteem of going to the NFL. I think there's an esteem of going to the NFL. I think it also exists for basketball, but to win at the highest level means something. I would think Dan Lanning would love to go to the NFL. I mean, every kid dreams of that. Why not? Why would you stay in college if, say, I don't know, name a team, say the Cowboys were open, or say, I can't even know, Miami. Dan Lanning, Miami Dolphins calls. That's a pretty nice little nugget there.
The New York Football Giants.
Good luck with all that in Miami. Yikes.
Well, yeah,
you want to take over that team that hasn't won a playoff game since 2000?
Jay Fiedler.
He's a young man. He might enjoy South Beach. He's, 41? I don't know. It's the Miami Dolphins.
Supposed to be a family man.
Yeah.
Nick Saban took over the Miami Dolphins. What's wrong with the Miami Dolphins? They're not great now, but it is an esteemed program.
You're inheriting a headache. You get hired by the Dolphins, it's like the Homer Simpsons, the Grandpa Simpsons meme where you walk in the door and walk out of the door. It's like you're hired to be fired.
Jim Harbaugh took over for Brandon Staley. Or maybe there was something. Yeah,
but because of Justin Herbert. Like, that's why.
Yeah, but you don't think Miami's going to get their version of Justin Herbert?
That was also the NFL's bad because Jim Harbaugh was doing interviews at every place he possibly could. The Raiders should have hired him a long time ago. Vikings are doing well with Kevin O'Connell, but they could have used Jim Harbaugh too. And it just took Harbaugh winning a national title to get him hot again on the NFL stage.
Mr. Lanning, can I interest you in Jackson Dart in New York City?
And
New Jersey.
They'll definitely sniff around him.
888-710-4ISN. So this is what caught our ear yesterday. Can we hear a little Dan Lanning and fire everybody up this morning?
Yeah, sure.
Or this evening, depending if you're on the West Coast. Dan Lanning, this is pregame speech after Mike Gundy had basically called out the program saying, if we had this much money, gosh, we'd be in such great shape at Oklahoma State. Dan Lanning I'm 40. Didn't appreciate that. Said, well, if you just spent more of your money on the players and less of it on yourself, paraphrasing, maybe you'd be in a better spot. Oregon goes out and wins 69-3. Here's Lanning.
And it wasn't that
Let
close.
it rip. The great thing about us is we don't need any extra motivation to come in and want to whoop your ass. But it sure does help when your opponent pours a little gasoline on you. And they poured a little gasoline. The great thing about this game is what they think versus what I know. I know about this team's work. I know about this team's sacrifice. I know about this team's connection. Right? That's going to be a separator in this game. Because if you're going to come in and you're going to be talking shit, it's time to cowboy up. But guess what? The bull don't care. And today, we're the bull. Let's go up their ass.
Oh, my God. Give me a helmet now.
I know. Like, we were, like, getting goosebumps on that.
Him using the cowboy reference, playing the Cowboys and they're the bull, is just, that guy is special. I'm sorry. I love him. He's my favorite.
By the way,
And I hope he never leaves Oregon.
I hope they have every punt inside the 5. Wow, what a speech.
Can we talk about Oklahoma State for a second? Apparently, they spent all the money on vibrating chairs in the locker room, like the kind you see at the mall. Like, do we need a left guard or do we need like a super fancy ping pong table here in the locker room? Like, their facility is supposed to be magnificent, and it's just an insane decision. I totally believe, like, he's right. Like, they also, when you spend money, you got to spend on the right players. That's true. But I read that they put all their money into these sick facilities.
I'm sorry. If you're one of those people sitting in that vibrating chair in the mall, like, I'm simultaneously jealous of you because you're actually going for it with the vibrating chair, and also yuck.
Yeah. Well, now there's a 3-star left guard at Oklahoma State sitting in that vibrating chair because they couldn't afford the 5-star.
They still have malls?
Yeah,
What's that?
They still have malls?
Oh, come to the burbs, man. Got you covered.
We stayed at a hotel recently on our summer vacation, and my wife has some hip issues from running too much, and there was a vibrating chair. She's like, oh, I can't wait to use that. It was in the hotel, and they were out of order. And we asked the hotel person, they've been out of order for 6 years. And every mall is like that, too. Every vibrating chair is out of order.
Did you
my
and
wife
Lucy,
had 7 injuries. She got kicked by a horse. Oh, you have no idea.
You guys get on either side, and you and Lucy just start shaking the chair to
that
help
would be
your
nice.
wife.
My wife probably wouldn't have paid 7 quarters for that. But yeah. But no, seriously, we should all do a trip to Oklahoma State. Apparently, they have.
I thought you said to the mall, like
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory.
I'm,
and
like,
everything.
I'm in, man.
Where are we going?
Queen Center,
Palisades?
Queen Center Mall, not that far
Sure,
from me.
Queen Center, why not?
I love it.
But just I know we got a break, but why do you not believe that Alabama has less money? Like, why do you not? I mean, it seems like a stone cold fact on every single indication. And Nick Saban walked away for that very reason.
Okay. Well, here, less money and no money are very different things. They're acting like they've got no money, and you have a little bit less, but also you get the benefit of the doubt of being Alabama. Let's think about this. A few years ago, when it was the last year of the 4-team playoff,
Right.
and Florida State goes undefeated,
Yeah.
and Alabama did not. And who ended up playing in the college football playoff? Because, yes, like they, you could have made a case that they deserved it, but they really didn't because Florida State went undefeated, and they should have been in the 4-team playoff.
Right.
And they got the benefit because they were the program.
No.
And they still...
They were the program when Nick Saban was their head coach. Now they're not the program.
Well, Nick Saban staked you to a pretty good lead here.
Yeah, but
what they do with it after, that's on Kalen DeBoer and the coaching staff, and I know there are a lot of people not happy with, obviously, how the season started.
Yeah, but
Let's not act like you get no advantages of being Alabama.
But you did not when Mike Dubose and Mike Shula were the coaches. Like trust me, they were not must-watch TV. They were like 7-5, and then in some bowl. Actually, I don't even know if they had the corporate bowl names then, but they were not getting any benefit of the doubt. These programs come and go. I mean, is Florida State? Why did they get any advantage? Like that has a rich history. When Bobby Bowden was there, they would have made that Final Four
because of Alabama's like riding this incredible high.
Well, I'm just saying Alabama will go away just like Nebraska and Oklahoma have gone away. It's a very cyclical sport. Florida has gone away. Florida, I mean, if you told a kid in 2007 that Florida would just be an afterthought SEC program, they'd say you were crazy.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Get started today with a little college football. Will Dan Lanning be at Oregon for the next decade? Tell us what you think. Ducks fans, let's go. Also, some more news from the West Coast with the 49ers. Wow, this season is already in turmoil. Can they overcome it? Get to that next. Maggie and Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Salió de Rosa Pola, ey, estaba perdida y ahora anda en todos lados.
All right, welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. Manny, who you spinning right now?
This would be Fade, our discussion from last segment of the show from yesterday.
Yeah.
The boyfriend of Carol G.
That's right, yeah.
Who was the halftime performer of the Chargers Chiefs.
Yeah, the
This
luckiest man on earth because egad, she's beautiful.
And they're both from the...
But what do you mean, you people? We'll tell you what we were talking about last segment if you want to chime in. Will Dan Lanning be the head coach at Oregon for the next decade? Is it even worth it to leave for a blue blood these days? And no disrespect to Oregon, but they're kind of new blood as opposed to blue blood. And then tangentially, what's the best job in the SEC, which we'll get to in just a moment. But Pearl, little bit of a reprieve for your Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Carter is now only going to be fined $57,000, which is a drop in the bucket for him after spitting on Dak Prescott. The NFL is counting the fact that he got ejected from the opener and had to sit out every single snap of that game kind of as the suspension.
Yes, and people who are criticizing this have to realize, like, what if your guy spit on somebody, they suspended him for 2 games? Like, because there's a lot of guys have gotten busted for spitting and nobody got suspended for 2 games. That would be a ridiculous suspension. So this makes perfect sense. This is right down the middle. $57,000 fine. I read the history of spitting fines. This is the biggest fine ever for that. Because I'm telling you, guys do much worse, not much worse, but they do this kind of stuff all the time on a football field. I think Jalen Carter's biggest crime was he did it in front of, while 38 million people were watching. NBC said this was going to be, before the rain delay, the most watch opener they've ever had on NBC in their 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about timing. Jalen Carter, before the game starts, the defending champion, everybody watching, that made it worse to me. And I think his history in the eyes of the public and the media to some extent made it worse. If it was just, if Zach Bond, the linebacker, had spit on somebody, we would have already moved on.
Yeah, but see, that's the whole thing, though. Nobody thinks Zach Bond would do something. It'd be very out of character from what we know about Zach Bond,
right?
Who was a journeyman before he found the second life with the Eagles and now has gotten paid.
Yeah, it's like it seems like a good guy.
Well,
good story.
Yeah, or just had a humbling moment in the NFL already. And so you'd be a little bit surprised. Now, I can't claim to know these guys, but I think the big question about Jalen Carter is not about whether or not he would get suspended again for spitting. It's, do you trust this dude to keep it together for the next 5 months? You're in a title defense, and he's one of the most important pieces that you have on defense. I know you won that game against the Cowboys, but man, it was a little closer than everybody thought. And he's clearly one of the best defensive tackles in the league.
Right.
do you trust that he'll keep his head on straight? Because it might not be spitting. Next time it could be something else.
Well, are you referring to the tragic car incident? Is that why? I mean, because what other problems does he have? I mean, I might be missing something.
But that's a big one. I mean, the idea
but that's kind of different, though. There are a lot of players who've been caught speeding,
Okay.
Terrible incidents, and it doesn't always translate to the field.
Fair. But what were some of the details of that tragic accident that happened in Georgia, celebrating a win? How does this guy handle success? It was a horrible, horrible mistake that led to a loss of life. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying, does he have the right mentality? And does he feel like, like I've already won a Super Bowl, you can't tell me anything? Is he not going to embrace the fact that there's a microscope on him now? And there has been since he was drafted. So I can't answer the question. We don't know. He's going to have to prove it. But, I'm looking around at the Eagles defense, and they detailed this on the broadcast, and you've been on top of it. Yeah. They don't have a lot of veteran leadership anymore. They got rid of a lot of those guys. So, yeah, there's a lot of his former Georgia teammates are still on the team with the Jordan Davis and stuff like that. But who is the one who's going to where's Brandon Graham? Where's someone like that who might be able to be, a mentor or something in that locker room?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Vic Fangio, who's like 65. It's different.
I don't see that. Who's rushing the passer and who's covering anybody? I mean, you saw CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, the single best receiver on the Cowboys, and maybe top 5 in the league, running wide open, just running past the DBs like they weren't even there. They don't need to put any resources. They need to put resources into guys who can cover anybody. So I think Howie's going to go nuts on the trade market to fix the defense. And I don't think it's about the old guys. I think it's about the personnel.
No, I'm saying, but he wasn't even on the field. And why? Not because of football. Yeah. He was not on the field because of a bonehead decision.
But you're acting like this is a pattern. Where has he missed a game for a suspension before? Has he had any on-field trouble since he got to the NFL?
No, but let's not pretend. Well, actually, remember it was his rookie season that he got called out. I think Brian Baldinger called out that they were in bad shape. Was that his rookie season that he faded down the stretch? Anyway.
He had some blow-ups on the sideline with Nick Sirianni. He's had some moments.
Like, the thing is, I don't know if he's going to have any more incidents on the field. You don't know it. I don't know it. But I'll tell you what, I'm monitoring it. And the fact is, even though you guys beat the Cowboys in the opener, he hurt your team because of a mental error.
Fact is, that dude has won a lot of championships already, and he's 24. Like, you could look at him as the negative stuff because he comes off as, let's face it, his demeanor is somewhat scary, and he plays kind of scary. Like, he is the bad guy on defense, like, and not in a bad sense. Like, he has this persona of like, this guy is he's just scary on defense. So you don't want to run into him. I mean, what's the ultimate highlight of him? Lifting Jaden Daniels like a little kid in college. Like, he's a freak. Yeah. I mean, he's the fastest, strongest guy out there, and he never smiles. So he looks mean, but I just think that people are reading too much into this and seeing a pattern where I understand. Listen, there are character concerns. But to me, I thought the spit thing was all overblown. I would imagine he'll play the next 16 games and be great. The Eagles defense, though, because I saw this 2 years ago, I saw the same movie. Started with Dak ripping them apart, then they lost 5 games in a row because their defense just got absolutely torched. And hopefully Vic Fangio can keep this together. I'm very worried about the D. I did not pick the Eagles to win. To repeat, neither did you. It does seem like there are concerns, and Jalen Carter is the tip of the iceberg to me.
Let's get to Andrew Bogusch, who's got headlines. You're welcome to weigh in at 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. How we doing today, Bogusch?
Guys, we're good. Your headlines are sponsored by PrizePicks. Don't miss any of the action this football season with PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. Download PrizePicks and use code PRIMETIME.
And let's not forget shallow.
$50 bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. And I'm a loser. We all know that Pearl will never go to San Antonio and apologize to Victor Wembanyama for calling him a bust. But this weekend would be a good time to go to San Antonio because Wemby and the Spurs are hosting a tryout for a super fan group. This apparently was Wemby's idea, and it's loosely based on the supporters sections he has seen at soccer and basketball games back in Europe. They are looking for energetic fans who can attend at least 75% of Spurs home games. During games, this section will feature, quote, nonstop chants, drums, flags and passion.
Do they not have this at the Intuit Dome with the wall or the mural, whatever the hell they call it over there?
The wall.
Also, they're putting Wemby in these marketing meetings. Like, is he?
He is the Spurs.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question.
It's not a bad idea.
We need a group, though. It said group. So all you guys have to come with me then.
No. You would be hired to be part of this new group. You don't need to go as
part
a group.
of what group? What group of Spurs fans is taking me on? You guys are the group. We all have to go.
No, it's like a section of the stands. Like you just try out to be, and then you're in the gang.
Yeah.
But are you sure you don't have to bring the group with you?
No.
This is not like a America's Best Dance Crew.
No.
This is America's Idol.
Which would also be something that we would have.
This is an
a lot of
ultra
trouble with.
section. This is an ultra section. What they're trying to.
But you're
to
going
get
to
together.
75% of the home games. It's like a part-time job, and there's no money. Do you get free tickets? I'm assuming.
Oh, I didn't see that part about free how you get in. But yeah, they need you to be there. You need to make a commitment to the Spurs.
If you're getting hired, you better get free tickets.
Well, it's like a volunteer basis. No,
I will certainly volunteer for the Knicks to do this. I will gladly go to 75% of their home games.
we know. I kind of like that Wemby was involved in this, though.
Yeah. And there he would be, right there for you to go and shake his huge hand and apologize.
You're not getting within 100 feet of that
He's
guy.
already not listening. He's already checked out of this.
You could probably, extend your foot on over.
No,
and
I'm
it'll be
looking at the
same
details
size
of
as
how
your
this thing
hand.
works. To see if I mean, first of all, I'm definitely not a Spurs fan anymore because, what are they doing? They keep drafting 6'3" shooting guards. What's going on with the team building there, Bogusch? Did you see Dylan Harper's probably out too?
Yeah, his thumb?
Yeah, on his left hand. Anyway, I don't know if I can support the Spurs fully.
You're back
we
out.
know you don't support them. You called Wembanyama a bust.
Well,
Right.
yeah, but I like Wembanyama, but
Wembanyama?
I don't think they're building the right team around him. No, I'm back in on Wembanyama. I flip-flopped on that one. Yeah, I clearly was wrong.
That never happens.
Well, I was clearly wrong. He's not a bust.
No, he's amazing. But it's a fair question about the team building.
Oh, it makes no sense whatsoever. What is this team they're putting around him? How can I be in the super group if I don't believe in the vision?
Did this meeting also happen with a bunch of monks and Buddhists around? Up in the mountains?
Kevin Garnett.
Or Kevin Garnett.
I don't think that helped.
You don't think so?
By the way, you know who else he's hanging out with now?
Hakeem.
Yep.
Oh,
Dream.
I saw that, yeah.
That's a good pairing.
He's collecting all the infinity stones of just people that can inspire him. Monks, Kevin Garnett, and Hakeem Olajuwon. I want to know who's next.
And people were freaking out because he was dwarfing Olajuwon in the picture that came out over the weekend.
That's like a golf foursome. A Monk, Wembanyama, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Kevin Garnett.
City of Houston happy about this?
Probably not.
6 weeks ago, the San Francisco Giants gave up on the San Francisco Giants, selling off their best bullpen arms at the trade deadline, and now they can't stop winning.
Gallen ready, throws. Swinging. There's a high drive. Deep left field. Way back there. Adios. Pelota.
The great John Miller on Giants radio. Willie Adames, a 3-run first-inning homer. The Giants never trailed in a 5-3 decision over the Diamondbacks. San Francisco has now won 13 of 16 and has almost caught the Mets for the last wildcard spot.
3-1. Schwarber hits a high fly, straightaway center. This one out to the wall. Gone. Number 50 for Kyle Schwarber. A 3-run homer in the 7th. And the Philadelphia lead is now a booming 7-1 cushion in the bottom of the 7th.
Hang in there, Keith Rad. Mets radio. Schwarber's 50th, fueling a 9-3 Phillies win. Those Mets have dropped 4 straight, 5-6. Manager Carlos Mendoza believes his team will figure out how not to blow this lead.
We will. We're good. We got to play better. And we got to fight. We're in the middle of it. There's no time to feel sorry or. We got to fight. What was in the past is in the past. And we got to continue to take it one day at a time.
Always tack on those cliches. So the Giants are 2 games behind the Mets. The Reds are 3 back after a 4-2 win in San Diego last night.
I just Googled Juan Soto's butt, by the way. It's going to be weird. By the way, I learned something interesting about baseball history last night.
Okay.
Yes, I love this. Go ahead.
Kyle Schwarber hit his 50th home run.
Correct.
He is the second Philly to hit 50th home runs, and Ryan Howard was the other.
I thought this was about to be a guessing game. I was going to Ryan Howard.
Too.
But Mike Schmidt never hit 50 home runs, and I knew that.
That's a good point.
But that's crazy. Mike Schmidt, and I looked up, led the National League in home runs 8 times and never got to 50. Like, that's how different the game is now.
What was it, 35, 36 home runs?
48 is the most he ever hit in a season. Like, Mike Schmidt's the greatest slugger of a decade.
Yeah.
And he never hit. Kyle Schwarber is just like, I'll pop 50 out of it. Cal Raleigh, like, home runs are different. That's all I'm saying.
I think we need some urine samples out of some of these guys.
Wait, wasn't the park different though? Also, where Mike Schmidt was playing versus Citizens Bank.
Oh, of course.
Oh my God,
Citizens Bank Park is like a
big
little
part of it.
field.
It's a
Big
shoebox
part.
in there.
I mean, Mike Schmidt came up in the 70s and 80s, and what happened in the 90s?
Right, but he also hit 48, and Schwarber just hit 50, and there's like 10 games left in the season. He
Right,
didn't hit 50 on May 1st.
No offense, Kyle Schwarber should not really be in the same sentence with Mike Schmidt.
Well, no, but it's again. I don't think this is the best example of, oh my God, home runs are out of control when Schmidt hit 48.
I
and
hear what you're
Schwarber's
saying,
on 50 right now.
But it's just like, I mean, as you look at the power rankings of all-time players, like Mike Schmidt might be the greatest third baseman of all time, and Kyle Schwarber stands above him in the Phillies record book. It just feels a little funny to me.
Schwarber wouldn't be the kind of player that would be this kind of player in the 70s. Like this season, yes, but the seasons before when he was hitting 46 and 47, hitting 200 or 197, that guy doesn't exist. There's no player hitting 190, hitting 45 home runs.
But there was one.
Dave Kingman.
Kingman. And he was my favorite player by far. He was the one guy who was allowed to do that. He hit like 180 and would hit 35 homers.
They did not have the tolerance for strikeouts back then that they do today.
Yeah. No, the game is better in that sense.
888-710-4ISN. Bogusch, thank you so much. Coming up, we will get to the Niners. We've got the Cowboys and Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas yesterday defending his boys. Whew, M&P.
I can't say a word because the Mets are ruining everything.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Know that sound? Cowboy Quickie music for you. Jerry Jones back on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas, sister Odyssey station. Okay, so here's Jerry, who was asked by the host there about the Eagles' offer. Jerry says there was no counter offer from what the Eagles made. That he shut the door on pretty quick.
No counter offer. And to the interest, you know, the thought all along was to see where the interest level was, and that was very important. And from the get-go, that was an effort on our part to chum up interest.
Right. So this is now the news story. The news story that Jerry is going to roll with from now till forever is that they were always trading Parsons.
Yeah.
This was all part of the master plan. They needed to drum up as much interest as possible, and he played everybody, the media included.
I mean, are you surprised? The mastermind is at work again, Maggie.
Jerry strikes again. Jerry says the goal was to boost the interest, to get enough calls from teams, and then strike while the iron was hot.
As it would happen, as it always happens, once that interest started really peaking, then you started having that phone ring. And that's exactly what the plan was, to see if that phone would ring and the proposition be there enough to for us to make the move.
I mean, Jerry's been playing GM for 30 years now. He was unsure if there'd be any interest in Micah Parsons. Like, we really had to put the feelers out. Like, I understand you want to see what the return would be, but, like, you know there'd be interest, whether this is in March, April, May, June, July, ended up being August, but, like, you've been in the game long enough here, Jer.
Okay, can I defend the Cowboys for 1 second? The reality is, Khalil Mack merited 2 first-round draft picks. At least the Cowboys got 2 first-round draft picks and a player in Kenny Clark. Like, it's not the worst trade package. At least you can squint, and there are some experts and analysts I watched on the Sunday pregame show who think the Cowboys did a good job. Like, got enough.
Okay.
A lot of them. I mean, a lot of people are saying, like, well, you know what? That's too much money for Micah Parsons. The Cowboys did all right here.
But didn't they also get a second-round pick in Khalil Mack? I know they got a player in Kenny Clark, but it's 2 firsts and a second. I thought was also part of that trade. Anyway, last one here from Jerry. Manny, I'll hear cut 14. Jerry knows Micah's a good player, but getting multiple players is the better option.
We understand what kind of player Micah is. He's an outstanding player, great player. He's a great player. But if the principle specifically is with our system the way we have it today, if we can get 4, 5, 6 players for one player, that's better for our opportunity to win the thing. And that's what it was about.
I love how this number keeps growing. This doesn't remind me of the LeBron, not 5, not 6, not 7. It's like, we're going to trade Michael Parsons for 2 players, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 53.
Yeah, now it's the Herschel trade all over
Not 7. I mean, just keep going and going. It's like, you got a player in Kenny Clark. That was great. He should end up showing up in that game, more to the naked eye, towards the end of the game when it became more of a defensive battle against the Philadelphia Eagles. But, you really going to work this like you're, Sam Presti with the Oklahoma City Thunder? Is this what we're doing, NBA style, where these picks are just going to last up until the apocalypse happens? So, I don't know. To me, Jerry saying, we need more depth pieces, so we had to get rid of Micah Parsons is a direct reflection on how bad of a GM he is.
Well, let me also flip it.
You built the team.
Why didn't the Chiefs and the Ravens and the Bills, the 3 AFC contenders, come after Micah Parsons hard? I think you have to ask yourself, because I wonder if the money was too much and they didn't want in on that.
There might have been also just a salary cap situation with it being so close to the season. I think the team had to have cap room probably to add him. No?
But the Eagles' Howie Roseman reportedly made an offer. I don't know when that offer came. Maybe he had more. That's a good point, but still, if it's getting Micah Parsons, I'm thinking the Bills-Ravens game, either of those two teams could desperately use. Josh Allen would basically untouched most of the game. They could desperately use Micah Parsons. Why wasn't everybody in on him? I mean, maybe Jerry didn't even take their calls. Who knows in this circus? But I feel like it's interesting to me that not every other team was in on Micah Parsons.
He's like, who's A. Reed calling me? This possibly be.
Send a voicemail. As far as the Bills paid everybody. So maybe there was an issue.
Yeah.
They paid all their own guys this offseason and decided to bring Joey Bosa in. So I don't know.
Yeah,
that's your Cowboy Quickie. We'll hear that.
Yeah, but I mean, how did the Packers are young, so I guess they have cap space left. But they just paid Jordan Love $55 million. I mean, Maggie, you say it. Is the salary cap real?
No. Not even close. They talk about it. It's not real.
Yeah, just cut a bunch of guys. You have Micah Parsons. Anyway, I just think if I'm an NFC contender, I'm kind of annoyed that Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer because, you clearly saw it on Sunday, Maggie. Yeah. What is that team with him?
I mean, an NFC contender, how about being a fan? You're like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
You and I disagreed about this at the time. I thought trading him to the Packers was the all-time slap in the face to Cowboy fans.
Right.
The fact that you did trade him to a team you're literally going to see in Week 4 and you hope to see in the playoffs.
Well, I think the ultimate slap would have traded him in division. To see him twice every year. And that's why you will give Jerry credit, at least not taking the Eagles call. If they had to see Micah Parsons twice for the next 8 years, that would be a bad decision.
I'm going to be honest. If I'm a GM, I'm not ever taking Howie Roseman's call.
True. It's like the Atlanta Braves when they call you about a pitcher. Just say no.
Just not happening. I'm not taking Andy Reid's call, or whatever, Brent Veach. I'm not taking anyone's call who's gotten the better, it feels like, of the whole league.
Do not sign a former Baltimore Ravens defensive player. They never work on their second team. Well, mostly don't work.
Steelers wide receivers, when they leave.
One.
There's a couple things you just the 10 Commandments. You just don't do it.
Giants wide receivers, they all stink when they leave New York. Back in the day.
That's true. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Welcome to weigh in on what you heard from Jerry. Was this all just part of the plan? Plus, we get to the 49ers making a big move yesterday.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Should we start we're in a bit about the 49ers. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. So yesterday, some news coming out of the 49ers. Pearl, one, George Kittle is going on IR. So that's never a good thing. Even though Kittle's older, he's 32, they gave him more money this offseason. I think they were still expecting him to be a massive part of the offense.
Yeah, he looked good in the first half.
And then he was out for the rest of the game, and now he's on IR for the next 4 weeks. And also, obviously, Brock Purdy is dealing with some injury issues. Now, the shoulder is the non-throwing shoulder, so you can rest easy on that. But Kyle Shanahan said yesterday that his toe is actually worse than the shoulder. Yeah. And I know that Brock Purdy's not Lamar Jackson out there, but still, your toe and your feet, very, very important, obviously, when so much of your quarterbacking is your lower body. So
yeah, you push off on that toe.
It's
big deal.
It's not great. However, on the flip side, and I thought of you immediately because you were begging for this basically all year, last year, that Jake Moody was actually waived by the team. The third-round draft pick, kicker, missed 2 kicks against the Seahawks, a field goal and a PAT, and he was waived. Eddie Piñeiro's now in.
That's unbelievable. Him and the guy that was kicking for the Bills ought to hang out. Matt Prater, right?
Yeah, Eddie Piñeiro's a little
Eddie Piñeiro,
older,
how long has he been kicking in this league? One thing about the Niners especially is not just the kicker. The entire unit is awful. And by the way, one of the missed field goals was on everybody. Everybody screwed up. There's something like Kyle Shanahan should be firing special teams coaches every 3 weeks. It shouldn't just be the players.
Well, they brought in a new guy this year.
Yeah, and they paid all these guys. They should fire him immediately. Like Kyle Shanahan, and apparently I don't know if he goes to the special teams meetings. I think he's too focused on it. He's got to get in there and treat this like the 5-alarm fire it is. And it's not just the kicker. It is up and down that unit. They stink.
Well, they get pushed back a little bit. I think that was one of the big criticisms is it's obviously Jake Moody is the one who's going to wear it because he's the one who's standing there after the kick sails to the left.
Yeah. Last year, every punt was returned to its full extent. Every time the kickoff was returned to the 40, yeah, they have a lot of problems with special teams.
Well, the new rules aren't gonna help them there.
But now everybody has
a lot of kick returns.
Yeah,
I feel
now everybody has
starting
that
at the 40.
So again, Jake Moody's gone, but I feel like this panic, and there's a little bit of it from you, not total panic. This panic about the Niners after a Week 1 victory is a little much for me. Why is everybody all of a sudden oh man, what's wrong with my Niners? They won the game. Well, they shouldn't have, but they did.
Yeah, they did win the game. I am worried because I picked them to win the Super Bowl, and I now feel like a little bit of a dope, but it's not really about me. I mean, they still have this, easy on paper schedule.
Yeah.
I think what I miscalculated here is the fact that they did have a little bit of churn on the roster, which I think was a good thing, right? There was an element of you do have to bring in some new blood, and I understand that, but they still are relying, especially on offense, for guys who are older to be a big part of the offense. Now, that's not the Ricky Pearsalls and the young guys. Aiyuk's not going to be back for a while.
That hurts.
But for Kittle and then for McCaffrey, I was kind of hoping what I would see was Christian McCaffrey being used a little bit more sparingly in that opening game.
Yeah.
That was not the case.
No.
He was the offense.
I think he led the league in touches or usage or whatever you call it.
On pace for 500 touches if they kept this up this year. That's just can't be for a guy who has the injury history that he has.
No, that's definitely scary. But weren't you encouraged by the defense? The fact that the Seahawks were supposed to have this great running game, got nowhere on that defensive line, which has been that defensive line didn't fall apart, but it took a major step back over the last 2 years. Robert Saleh gets back. He looks at the defensive line. He says, "You're all cut." He basically got rid of everybody who was on the interior of the defensive line, brought in new guys, and they were stout. So honestly, I am looking at that Niners defense and seeing more optimism than I think generally people are because they're too focused on Purdy and McCaffrey. Purdy, small, hurt, Kittle out. Okay, now it's up to Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. We'll see if the rookie is out. If Georgia's any good, Mikael Williams, there's potential that they could switch the narrative and be more of a defensive team this year.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but there's a lot of good defenses in the NFC. You have a good defense, that's just going to put you right on par with the Rams and the Green Bay Packers and your Philadelphia Eagles.
But think of 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, that Niners defense was ferocious. They were leading the way. They were the number 1 defense in the league.
I get it, but I don't know if you're enjoying that. Is that going to really be the differentiator for you in the NFC with all these other good defenses out there? Look at what the Vikings just did. There are some really amazing defenses. Peyton Manning, I did not see this because I don't watch the Manning cast anymore, but maybe I should. It's just awkward that they're all in the same place. Anyway, Peyton Manning was talking about Brian Flores' defense, and he's like, I spent 18 years in the NFL, and I had no idea what I was seeing there. I thought they were in man. I would have sworn they were in man coverage. Turns out they went into some weird zone. He's like, there's no way Caleb Williams would have been able to figure that out if I couldn't figure it out.
Well,
and so I'm
but
just
the
saying,
counterpoint, Brian Flores got torched by the Lions of the Rams in Week 18 in the playoffs last year. So
fair.
I mean, some people can figure out Brian Flores. 3 years ago, the Niners were winning, led by Nick Bosa in that defense. He was the MVP of the team along with McCaffrey. I think they need to get back to that. They need a balance because last year, Brock Purdy was throwing it all over the field trying to make up for the defense.
Yeah, and they won 6 games. It's not what you want. I guess the other part, too, I'm a little concerned about the 49ers. Again, after picking them to win the Super Bowl in their home stadium, you were kind of hoping, if you're a 49er fan, that last year was a blip. You know,
Sure.
You're in the Super Bowl in overtime against the Chiefs. Then you have the 6-11 season, I guess. Do math, Mags. You're hoping that's just a temporary setback and that you'd be right back into the mix this year. At least that was my expectation after you pay Brock Purdy and you're handing out $75 million to Kittle and McCaffrey is back and all of it. And you have to be a little – I know they won the game. I get that they won the game. But with the news that's coming out now, you have to end the history of injuries kind of snowballing on this team. You just hope that this blip doesn't extend into a 2-year thing.
Definitely. All I could say is recent history is they get to the Super Bowl in 2019, lose. 2020 is the worst injury year they've ever had. Nick Mullins was trying to right the ship, and it wasn't working. The next year, they're 10-7, get to the NFC title game. So led solely by their defense, by the way. So maybe they don't need to be 15-2. Maybe they can get into the playoffs where Kyle Shanahan is great in the early rounds. That's a bit of a dig there. Yeah. He's great until it's late in the Super Bowl. He's amazing. So I think with that easy schedule, they get into the tournament and you can squint and see everybody getting healthy. Aiyuk will be back, and now you can pair him with Pearsall. Purdy hopefully will be back again. But I'm going back to my statement from yesterday. We got to see the Mac Jones experiment. Come on, people. Who's with me? Who's with me?
Nobody.
Mac
Nobody
Jones.
is with you.
McCorkle Jones back in the helm, or whatever that expression is. He's going to be amazing. I was listening to Adam Schefter's podcast, and he said, and he reiterated, he's like, when the Niners traded up to number 3 in the 2021 draft, it was solely to draft Mac Jones. Kyle Shanahan has coveted this guy since watching him at Alabama. So I need to see if this would actually be something.
Man, there's so much there with that. All these years later, because first of all, they probably would have been wrong, right? They were wrong on Trey Lance. They traded all those picks to get up to Trey Lance. They were wrong on that, right? Yeah. Lance was getting injured. They couldn't go with him. Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, takes his job. Well, first Jimmy Garoppolo, then Purdy takes his job. Would they have been right on Mac Jones? It could have been similarly as wrong. We don't know if Mac's going to be any good.
Could have been similarly as right as Brock Purdy.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, Mac Jones, part of the reason that he rankled Bill Belichick, and I know Belichick's got no fans anymore, but when things started to go sideways and he started to have issues, he was calling the staff at Alabama and kind of freelancing a little bit, and it got worse and worse and worse. And Josh McDaniels left and all of that. So I think Josh McDaniels Josh McDaniels doesn't have a lot of fans right now. But if he had stayed in New England rather than taking that Raiders job, maybe Mac Jones isn't a backup. Maybe he's still a starter. I don't know.
Well, it's hard to judge because that Patriots team was a mess.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see if the Kyle Shanahan magic can work. I mean, let's face it, Brock Purdy had landed with another coach. He probably wouldn't be a starter in the NFL. Kyle Shanahan does have this thing going on.
Yes, he does.
So maybe I am generally curious, wow, could he even be good enough to save Mac Jones, who he didn't look like the worst quarterback of all time last year. He was fine. He looked almost exactly the same as Trevor Lawrence. That team was just terrible back and forth last year. So I'm not judging anything on that.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Now, they play the Saints this week. So, the Saints hung in there for a half with Arizona, and then
that game could be tricky for the Niners.
Did you guys see something? Not to pause on the Saints for a second.
Yeah.
I was tooling around on the old website PFF, really for the nerds, but Just trying to check out. Do you know who had the second highest quarterback rating was the second best PFF grade amongst all the second-year quarterbacks last week?
Well, based on this question, I can
deduce that it was Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, he looked good.
So Jaden Daniels was the first, not a shock there. Spencer Rattler was their second highest rated second-year quarterback. Then Caleb, which I was a little surprised. Then Drake May, who I thought looked terrible.
Yeah.
Why are you guys such nerds? Then Penix, McCarthy, and then Bo Nix. This is where the eye test doesn't match up sometimes with what you see. Because I thought Drake May had a terrible game in week 1.
Well, we know Bo Nix played bad because he had the 2 picks. McCarthy didn't really do much.
Yeah, McCarthy was terrible until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, McCarthy didn't do much. So Caleb, like I mentioned this before the show, a lot of tape people said Caleb was better than you think. And I totally agree with that. And by the way, Caleb was not bad. He had 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. He definitely wasn't bad. I mean, listen, the guy made a bunch of plays in the first half with his legs.
At one point he was 10 for 10? Didn't he start off?
Yeah, he started out 10 for 10. And also, too, he broke out of like 8 different tackles.
But he never got into a rhythm. Maybe that was Brian Flores' defense.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised PFF has him too. Spencer Rattler was really good. Now, the thing about it, I watched a ton of that Saints game. I have no idea why. One thing, Chris Olave has to retire. I am so sorry, but every time he goes out there, he takes Rattler threw him one. I think it was in the end zone. And just took the hardest hit I've ever seen. It really is hard to watch. Rattler is not throwing to anybody, and he's doing a nice job. The last play of the game, he almost threw this 20-yard dot, and the guy dropped it that could have tied the game. He's interesting, but they're not going to win anything. Like, what do you do if New Orleans wants a number 1 pick, right?
I would imagine. I mean, so this is where San Francisco, even if Brock Purdy doesn't play, which I think he's going to, it's the non-throwing shoulder, it's a toe. I think he'll play, but you think you could hold the fort against the Saints. Yeah,
I want to see Mac Jones. I want to know, for better or worse, is Mac Jones any good under Kyle Shanahan? I don't know the answer. And I think that your lack of support on my calling for this experiment is bothering me. Get with the McCorkle-Jones bandwagon.
No. I will not. I refuse. 888-710-4ISN. EJ, are you concerned about the 49ers?
Definitely. It just feels like this is a team that could potentially be looking for a more extreme rebuild to me. I just think, kind of like I said with the Bengals a couple of weeks ago when I said they were old news.
Yeah.
I feel even more strongly about that with the Niners.
How about a show bet? I'll show bet you. Do the Niners make the playoffs?
This crap is crap.
I'll take them in the postseason.
Wait a minute.
I don't think they win a game in the playoffs if they get there.
Is this where Perloff finally drinks the gallon of milk?
Yes.
I don't want to drink a gallon of milk.
Oh, okay. Well, fair.
Not oat milk either.
I don't think they win a game if they make they could make the playoffs at like 9-8. I could see that. I just don't think they're a threat to like
you
win
just
a Super
said
Bowl.
Total rebuild.
Right. I think they're steps away from being a total rebuild.
You can't get to the wild card game and be in a total rebuild.
Oh, I disagree. I think that you can go to the wild card game, lose, and be like, this thing is over. The Saints basically did that. The Saints were going to the playoffs at 9-8 and said this is a waste of time. And now they're rebuilding.
When was that?
Oh, at the end of the Drew Brees?
They were playing in like the Nickelodeon game a couple of years ago.
Oh, against the Bears.
The Bears and stuff. Yeah,
Trubisky,
they've been sniffing around the playoffs for the last few years, and then they pulled out. I think the Niners could be looking at that. It just feels like the health is really catching up to them.
Yeah, I don't think so because they're paying Purdy all this money. They have a lot of young guys too. Like they can't really rebuild. Like how do you rebuild when you have a $55 million a year quarterback?
Well, maybe you feel like Purdy is young enough, and he is young enough in his career that you have the centerpiece of the quarterback,
right,
and then you rebuild all around him.
How so? You're not going to have a high draft pick, and you're not going to have any cap space. Obviously, Kittle will be gone. They just got rid of Debo. I don't see that. They have a lot of Bosa and Warner are not that old. Like that's your 2 stars, right?
I mean, I just look at the rest. I just look at that NFC, which I agree with Pro when he said yesterday that the NFC has surpassed the AFC in many ways. I look at the Lions, basically the whole NFC North, but definitely the Lions, the Packers. I look at what the Eagles have done. The Niners don't feel like they're in that class to me. Like I think the Rams are better. Like I think that there's those teams, and then the Niners are in this kind of no man's land.
You put the Commanders in there?
I'm not 100% sold on it because they're old too. Like they brought back a lot of old guys. I want to see a second year of them. But to me, like the Niners, you're talking about San Francisco 49er football. I'm thinking about championship. I'm thinking about contending. And I look at them and I say, they look close to that to me? They struggled in that game. I know the defense looked great and they did. But that was too hard of a struggle against the Seahawks who just couldn't do anything. They should have lost that game.
I'll tell you one thing. I thought the same thing 4 years ago with the Niners. I'm like, this team is going nowhere. Jimmy G's their quarterback, and then boom, they're back. I'm telling you, this team Jimmy G took them to a Super Bowl. That's all you need to know about Kyle Shanahan. So I would not count them out. Maybe not this year, but at some point Shanahan will be back.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Are you similarly worried about the 49ers like EJ and myself? Maybe not so much.
Shanna, I couldn't keep a lead hand.
Big friendly, the big Rams fan. Perloff.
Maggie, am I lying?
Perloff telling everybody it's going to be okay.
Well, you guys should bet because you had the Niners going Super Bowl,
I
right?
do.
Because of the easy schedule.
Yep.
They're long. They're 20-1. I think they're 5th in the NFC. You should.
I'm already there.
Put some money on that one because you could. Yeah, I'm telling you, Kyle Shanahan surprises people. Nobody saw it coming after the Jimmy G era. Like Brock Purdy is their star quarterback. He was Mr. Irrelevant, people.
I know. I just also wonder tangentially, like, does Shanahan still have the mystique? We were talking about this yesterday about how many coaches do you respect in the NFL off of, what was this? Kevin O'Connell. We're talking about that. Kevin O'Connell yesterday and the fact that they keep losing in the first round of the playoffs, or they've lost twice in the first round of the playoffs, yet it doesn't stick with him at all, right? Like, nobody thinks that's a reflection on Kevin O'Connell. It's more like, let's give him another chance. Or he doesn't have this reputation yet of being like a paper tiger or, unserious, I guess. Kyle Shanahan, one of the most respected, no?
Yeah, probably it goes Reed, McVay, Shanahan.
Do you remember this was a while ago, Jeff Fisher came in?
Yeah.
And he said that he talks to everybody in the league, according to Jeff Fisher, and he said nobody respects on offense anyone more than Kyle Shanahan. He didn't even put Andy Reid there, which was kind of weird. Maybe an oversight.
Really. I mean, like the Shanahan, it's also part of the tree, right?
Sure. And does the mystique start to come off a little bit if they have another setback year this year?
Well, I mean, they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah. And
they should have won it.
I know. And who wore that more than anybody?
Shanahan, I'm telling you, he's really good in the wild card game, the divisional round, pretty good in the conference title game, and then actually he's okay in the conference title game. He's not good in the third and fourth quarter of a Super Bowls.
Yeah, it's funny because he has leads.
Yeah, I mean, listen, look at there's so many coaches you can't even get there.
That's true.
Including Sean McDermott, including John Harbaugh the last 10 years.
No, I know it
Mike
all
Tomlin.
too well.
Mike Tomlin's a Hall of Fame coach, and that dude hasn't won a wild card game in a decade.
Speaking of coaches, top of the hour, we will have the great debate. So just a little tease there. It is going to be something coach-related. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay, time for the 49ers to be a little concerned, yes or no. And coming up, we will check in on one of the most interesting quarterbacks in the NFL. Do that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Hey, Robin, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. My name is Robin from San Francisco, not San Fran. I know you sports people do that.
Did I say San Fran? I think I said San Francisco.
No, you said San Fran. That's what set me off to call you. The name of our city is San Francisco. The second thing I'd like to say, okay, we hate that. We locals hate that. The name of our city is San Francisco. Unless you were watching a different game than what I was watching,
yeah,
I think that 2 runs that Brock Purdy had something to do with them advancing and winning this game.
Robin, I said he used his legs and his scrambling kept the comeback alive. I think you kind of have an axe to grind with me beyond the Brock Purdy.
I have an axe to grind to you. No, I don't have. Don't project to me. I'm telling you what I heard and what I.
Okay, well, the first thing you said to me was, "Don't call our city San Fran," like you were wildly offended, which I don't even know if I said that.
I am offended by it because
that's insane to be offended by that.
You are such a smart aleck. Bye.
I'm not a smart aleck. I just don't want to get a. I think she kind of had it out for me a little bit before we even got started there. San Fran is offended. Did I even say San Fran?
I don't know if you said, but I'm with Robin.
3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Safe to say I'm the biggest, the largest. Been stepping up since my mama stayed in them apartments. Regardless, my daddy told me keep the.
All right, back on Maggie and Perloff. In typical Maggie and Perloff show style, Maggie picks the Niners to go to the Super Bowl, and I am sitting here defending the team for her pure panic. I definitely think that you have in your brain, like, once I make the pick, I have to think negatively about them or the other shoe is going to fall, because I've noticed that that's how you approach your Bills. If you say anything too nice about the team, that will somehow get to Josh Allen's head and he won't perform as well. You're very cautious after you make a prediction.
No.
Like, you don't want to jinx anything.
Well, no, I try to just call it like I see it, not let my bias
Well,
really
not with
get
the
in.
Bills. But with the Bills, will you admit you can't. You're emotional.
The Bills are the reason I have a therapist. Like,
Yeah, of course.
And also,
of course,
the history of that team. Like, if I'm a 49er fan, there are generally a lot of reasons why I think things are going to work out. You guys want to bring up all the times the Bills failed? Yeah, I'm going to think about alcohol. Right. Not healthy.
That's a great one.
But true.
Can
Everything in
we
moderation.
get that on? That might actually go on Maggie Gray's tombstone.
You guys
in
want to
some
bring up all
form
the
or
times
other.
the Bills failed? Yeah, I'm going to think about alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I really had that, I might have a very serious problem considering the history. But if I'm a 49er fan, I don't have to be like that shrouded. There's not that, there's scar tissue recently because you lose in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs, but you were a dynasty. You've done it. You have championship DNA. You know, you're one of the all-time programs. in the NFL. So, like, I don't think you have to do the same. It's not the same, like, barbed wire that I have to put up around myself with Buffalo, where you're always kind of waiting for the failure to come. So, no, I think for the 49ers, it's not about my pick necessarily. Although, we love being right, but, like, it's, we can't get out there on the field and impact any of the outcomes.
I don't know. I do see a pattern, though, actually. After you put something out to the universe, like, you're not like I think you believe that you can affect the outcome of things by where you stand in the kitchen, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think you're a bit superstitious.
So, what's the line from The Office? I'm like very stitious.
I'm not superstitious. I am a little stitious.
I'm a little stitious. I'm beyond superstitious. But you know what? I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I'm trying to let some of that stuff go.
I got this quote. A guy sent me a bunch of positive quotes yesterday, and he said, if you put negative expectations in your own head out there, you will get negative results.
Yes,
so
isn't this The Secret or whatever? It's like you were trying to manifest the positive things. Yes.
But I'm wired like you. If I make a bet, I immediately think of all the ways it's going to lose. So I should change my thinking and think about all the ways it's going to win. Then the universe will deliver the W.
We can probably take a page from professional athletes on this kind of thing.
Where visualize success.
Absolutely.
Now,
this is part of what they do. This is part of what makes them, like, the idea of you put negative things behind you and just on to the next play. Like, they have to teach themselves, I think, how to be that way.
So why don't you train yourself to think glass half full about the Niners? Hey, they didn't play well, but they won week 1. Hey, their defense looked really good for the first time in a long time. Hey, Christian McCaffrey had 1 million touches and didn't go on the IR. Like, there's a lot positive to take out of this. Ricky Pearsall.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Because Brock Purdy's on the injury report. Christian McCaffrey was on the injury report before the game, and then they used him 1 million times. I think
that
I'm
little guy
justified
running
in
around
this.
catching passes after getting shot? I mean, there's a lot to be positive here. Ricky Pearsall looked good.
Let's go to, is this Jorge or George? Jorge is in California.
Jorge.
Good morning, Jorge. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Just getting ready for work.
Wow, up early with the grind. We see you. What do you think about your Niners?
I think that it's a rough first game. I mean, you got to think about this. Seattle is a good defender team with the Ravens. Now new head coach, right?
Yeah, Mike McDonald.
Yeah, they're a good defensive coach. It wasn't going to be no walk in the park. I think Seattle's going to be better than what a lot of people think. I think the division is going to be between Seattle, us, and the Rams. But I think we're still going to come out on top.
All right. Well, listen, Jorge's being positive there.
He's absolutely right about that Seahawks defense. We talked about this coming into the season. There are a lot of analysts who think that could be the number 1 defense in the league, and they fly around.
But they downgraded at quarterback. And you saw it in week 1. And I know that I have not been high on Sam Darnold. And, he ultimately, the sack fumble ended any possibility of them actually winning that game when they got into field goal range. And I just, Geno's not perfect, but he is better than Sam Darnold. Let's put it this way. I'd rather have Geno than Sam Darnold if I were a GM.
Yeah, maybe. But this team, how does he want to win? He wants to Sharon Moore 24 handoffs in a row and kill you in defense. He was at Michigan, I believe, Mike McDonald.
Yeah.
He's Harbaugh to the core. And what happened in that game? Their running game wasn't just bad. It was terrible. The Kenneth Walker hype, the fantasy football hype around Kenneth Walker just totally dissolved. So say what you want about Sam Darnold. The story of that game was they couldn't run at all. So they would have been a run defense team. Sam wasn't great, but how many throws did he have? Like 22 or something. They didn't let him throw it all.
Let's go to Kevin is our pal in San Antonio. Good morning, Kevin.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. I was just listening about the 49ers. Yeah, the 49ers was the team of my team of the 80s and stuff. Everything is changing and so forth. But the thing about it, they had a chance to beat Kansas City. They did. They just that, I don't know. Kansas City, it may be the next New England 2.0. But what I think is that the thing is what hurting the 49ers is the injuries. They're almost on life support. They too many, they're brittle.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, wait,
so
Kevin.
you cannot. Yeah.
Let's get to the real heart of the matter here, which is that Kevin sends us a picture of his breakfast every morning to Maggie and Perloff at gmail.com. And it's one of the great joys of my life, Kevin, so I'm glad that you do it, and I'm entertained by it. Can I just give you one suggestion about the other day?
Yummy.
So you got the waffle slam. It's from Friday. I think that so Kevin's got the 2 waffles, and he's got the eggs, and he's got the sausage patties. I'm on board with all of this. Did you ever think about just putting it in a sandwich? Did you end up making it into a sandwich there, like a McGriddle kind of thing?
Well, I think I could do that. You give me a good idea because I got some waffles in there. When I'm gonna send a sandwich to you. It's gonna be the waffle slam sandwich.
I love it.
Those are big waffles.
Kevin, thank you, sir. And enjoy that breakfast. Kevin also getting into a little of a spicy omelet phase, which I'm also about. The pancakes just look dynamite.
Yeah.
I'm not even really a pancake person. I got a 6-year-old in the house, so they're around often.
I love when my daughters order pancakes and I get to eat about 3/4 of it. Oh, it's the best.
I know, but you got to factor it in. It's like
Wait, you said I'm not a pancake person?
No, like I don't want to be. Let me put it that way. I don't order them a lot. My kid does, and I always have to factor in when I order my breakfast, if we're at a diner or something, like, be careful what I order because I know I'm eating the rest of those pancakes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think pancake is pretty close to ice cream. It's like 100%. I know you don't love ice cream either.
Well, it's just not that I don't love it. It's the easiest thing for me to say no to.
That's weird.
She's so weird.
So weird.
Sorry.
But I think pancakes have 100% approval rating almost. Like, have you ever met anyone who doesn't like pancakes?
I've always indulged in the conversation of a pancake versus waffles.
Yeah, that's the only time there's any negativity.
But here's my question, though. Is that what you order? Like, if we went to breakfast, I've been to breakfast with all of you guys. No one ever orders the pancakes.
No, we got eggs.
That's because we're not.
I've done it a couple times.
Oh, have you?
We're not 9 years old.
Like a whole cake.
We don't have the metabolism of a 6-year-old. That's why we don't order pancakes. It's just pure sugar and flour and deliciousness.
Perloff, don't bring those kind of facts around here. Look at those pancakes from Kevin and the bacon on the side.
Oh, wow.
How about, why don't send that to Cap so he can put it on the stream, too?
I have a very important pancakes or waffles question because I learned this watching the show Cloak and Dagger. When you hold hands with your partner, do you pancakes or do you waffle?
Oh.
Okay, so EJ is showing on the stream palm to palm.
That's pancakes.
Or do you interlace the fingers?
That's waffles.
Depends. Early girlfriend relationship is definitely the waffle.
Interlacing the fingers together.
Nah, dog, that's weird.
Married, it's like, why are you doing that? You're making my hand hot. Let go.
Sure.
Trust me, EJ, you'll be there in a few years.
Get off of me. No. We're palm to palm people.
Yeah,
Pancakes
no, you're officially weird. You've had 3 weird takes in the past 2 minutes.
Palm
3
to palm
minutes.
is like someone you've never met before.
Yeah, that's like how you hold a child's hand. If you said that's how I hold my kid's hand, okay, cool, yeah. You gotta
interlace the fingers with your...
well, I haven't done it in a minute, but yeah, you do it like this, like a normal person. You hold on for dear life because that's your person. Damn it.
Yeah, Manny is 100% right here.
You guys all interlock the fingers?
Of course.
I think so.
Always waffles.
If given the choice, yeah.
I mean, I didn't know that there were they're like schools of hand holding, but of course you interlock fingers.
No, Andy and I just hold hands. Like
that
palm
almost
to
feels
palm.
that almost feels like if you're in like a church service, you hold your palm to palm when you're singing
Peace
hymns.
be to you.
Yeah,
someone you don't know. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Hallelujah.
Say hello to your stranger.
Kind of don't want to meet your husband now.
Or a kid. Manny's right. I think that's like if I was to hold my daughter's hand now, I'd hold it palm to palm.
Their hand isn't big enough.
Well, no, it just seems less
romantic.
Kind of.
Interlocking the fingers to me seems
That's
romantic.
love.
This right here, this denotes friendship.
Yeah, that's what I'm still deciding what we're doing.
Wait, Bogusch, can I ask you a question? Yeah. My kids don't want to hold hands anymore. Like, that passes after a certain age. Like, right, do your kids still give you a little hand-holding action?
I don't get I don't get like denied or like the shrug or anything. Like I don't get, but it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, my kids are now 13 and one just turned 15. Believe it or not,
I don't think your 15-year-old wants to hold your hand.
15-year-old wouldn't even talk to
me,
let alone hold my hand.
Do you realize you're also in New York City? Half the people look at you like it's Belichick and Jordan Hudson.
Yeah. The 13-year-old still is like the baby a little bit. I mean, you're in prime hand-holding territory.
Oh,
Maggie.
no, my kid's 6. Like, I have to hold his hand
Right.
like in a
Cannot
parking
cross the
lot
street.
or something.
Oh,
yeah,
right, for safety.
Yeah, absolutely. We're holding hands all the time. But, he also, like, I'll just kind of put the hand out and he'll grab it. It's great.
Can you hold him on your hip, like carry him still?
I can still pick him up, yeah. But I can't, not for long.
That's all that jogging on the treadmill.
Dude, he's growing like crazy. It's all the
stop
pancakes.
feeding him. Yeah.
But
Stop feeding him.
I was going to say
Good
the
callback,
I was
Barry.
going to say stop feeding him pancakes, but she finished the
if I
sentence.
could stop feeding him, my life would be so much easier. He needs to eat constantly. Anyway, you guys think there's something wrong with my marriage because we don't hold hands interlocking?
It's odd.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, do we
Oh, my
even
husband
call
right
it a
now.
marriage? It's more like
A union?
Let's
like,
get Andy on the line right now.
It's an arrangement.
A business agreement.
It's a strong friendship the way you're describing it.
Let's get Mr. Maggie on the phone right now.
Here's my roommate.
EJ, call him up.
He's my roommate.
I mean, we actually, I've spent a little time around Andy, but the only knowledge we have of Andy is when we were at the kickball tournament and we're all like, how's this game work? And then he is tightening this bandana around his head. He looks like Rambo coming out of the mist, ready to be like, I am about to take you down. So he's very competitive. He might be too focused on something to actually waffle handhold.
Yeah,
and Maggie in the background just swooning.
Yeah, which
As
is
he
funny.
tightened his headband.
We're not really that competitive, like in real life, but he was that day.
Get out.
Sure.
No, really, we don't play like board games and
Yeah,
stuff.
you don't play board games because you probably beat each other's throats.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
No, it's his brother that we can't. There's a no monopoly rule because of his brother.
Oh, Landry?
Gets too intense with it. But
You wait.
no, my husband
Okay,
has been on the
pause.
show one time. He called because our basement was flooded. Remember, we needed to check on. He was our
called
basement.
on air?
Yeah, he was our basement correspondent.
Wow.
Nice.
Ah, okay.
But Maggie, you just said you're not competitive. We'll do a great debate like who is the silliest mascot, and you'll prevent a 9-point power presentation. They get mad if you lose the poll.
That's
You
with
are
you
wildly
guys.
competitive.
That's with you guys. Not
What's
my,
it ever? Oh, yeah,
my
yeah.
other life.
Can
No.
you see her playing like Trivial Pursuit or something and being so competitive?
There's a video. I don't remember why we were like race walking down the
remember that.
hallway, but
Yeah, I shoved you guys out of the way.
Yeah, you almost killed Pat Boyle.
Well, Pat had it coming. Anyway,
Hey, by the way,
I
there's
don't
a-
do that in my home.
Hey, by the way, I like that you think the no monopoly rule is about your brother-in-law. That's your version of the story.
I can barely add it. It's definitely not about me.
I hate
I don't
Monopoly
wear
too.
women's perfume.
One other pancake question. Do you guys like blueberries in them, bananas in them, or
I don't
plain?
discriminate.
Chocolate chips.
Don't discriminate.
Chocolate chips?
Put
Oh,
whatever you
And
want in
banana.
there.
Or banana.
Throw some protein in there, too.
I'll tag a question on it. Everybody uses syrup, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Well,
That-
people
well-
are doing it dry?
Yes.
Better question. Everyone uses butter, right?
I put butter on. My wife
do.
thinks it's weird that I add butter, but I'm like, you have to add
Yeah,
butter.
Andrea says the same thing. She's like, I don't need butter on my pancakes. I'm like, how?
What's that white fluffy butter, too, that comes with it? It's like not real
whipped?
butter.
It's
It's
like
like
whipped.
enhanced butter.
It's like whipped, though.
Whipped butter.
Oh, with butter.
Whipped
Yeah.
butter. PDs of butter.
Can I tell you a health tip, too?
Sure.
There's
Don't eat
arguments.
pancakes.
Maple syrup comes from trees.
Yeah.
It's basically an organic food. It's basically healthy.
Oh, do you know there's two types of maple syrup? I learned this
I
because
don't
I
wanna
went
hear
on a
this.
maple
Are
syrup
they both
tour.
good for you?
No.
maple syrup
One's,
tour.
Yeah. Have a kid. That's the bonus.
Yeah.
One's called pancake syrup.
Okay.
And one's called maple syrup. And it's actually a technical thing. You cannot brand something as maple syrup if it's not like literally from the tree. There's
Yeah.
pancake syrup, which is
Yeah.
all synthetic.
Oh, you're right. You don't want that. The stuff from the cheap stuff at the grocery store. You want the one in the tin can that costs a lot of
You
money.
want that expensive Canadian stuff.
Yeah, it needs a leaf or a mountain or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Vermont on it, something like that. Yeah.
And by the way, like when we're talking about tariffs and stuff, like I was a little worried about my maple syrup connection
Oh,
because
boy.
we're going through multiple jars.
It's basically a health food. Maple syrup. Just like my Halloween theory that a Reese's peanut butter cup is a protein bar.
Close enough.
Yeah, move over RFK Jr. Here comes Perloff with the Make America Healthy Again.
Just put the maple syrup right on the Reese's.
Yeah. Twix is basically an energy bar. That's where I'm going.
Sounds good to me.
Is anyone starving right now?
Yep.
Okay, wait.
I always am.
Does anybody want to know that there's free food outside in the
What?
newsroom?
Stop, shut up.
Yeah.
What's out there?
Who came?
Like sandwiches. So it's a little early, but it's free.
7:39 in the morning. Who wants a sandwich? What, like
Well,
a beef?
When you come to kiss Boomer's ring, you got to come before 10 a.m.
Can't
Fair
any
enough.
breakfast people kiss Boomer Esiason's ring?
What ring?
See,
Cut
this
that
is why
from
we
the
don't get
podcast.
sandwich. Yeah, dump that.
We do not bring up Joe Montana ever. JT's in Atlanta quickly. JT, how do you hold hands with your significant other? Do you interlace the fingers or just palm to palm?
You have to interlink the fingers if you're an adult. I think if you're palm to palm, you're either arm wrestling, praying, or holding a kid's hand. Like, that's not how adults. That's not how adults show intimacy when they hold hands. It's like you like try to get away from somebody. You know, like that's just not a level of intimacy for an actual couple. I would say when you go palm to palm, that's more of a stranger type of deal. And then on the pancake, Maggie, me and you usually vibe on all this stuff, but today we're just like totally opposites. Pancakes. I mean, if you don't like pancakes for breakfast, like I'm one of those things like you're not American. Like if you don't do the maple syrup, the little snow cone of little butter thing that goes on top of it, and a nice couple fluffy pancakes, with milk or water. Man, that's the best.
JT, it's not that I don't like them. I eat my kids that are left over. And by the way, if you add a little like ginger ale or bubbly water to your pancake mix,
I've heard that.
Pro tip, JT. Thank you.
What?
I'm sorry. By the way, I feel like
fizzy water.
A little carbonation to the batter.
Yeah, it's good.
One more thing. I'm sorry. I'm picking on Maggie and psychologically. Why does every caller say every time like? Maggie, I almost always agree with you and disagree with Perloff, but this one time, I'm gonna like everybody says like Maggie, I always agree with you, but that's the worst take ever, and I never agree. We get that all the time. Like JT's like, I'm always on the same page with you except this time. So do they not call in when they're on the same page?
I don't know.
They just nod knowingly in the car the whole
That's
time.
like EJ, you screen the calls. Everyone's like, I'm usually with Maggie, but not this time. We get a lot of that. You ever notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of. I never agree with Perloff, but I'm with Andrew on this side. A lot of that.
It's always
So
the
much.
preface. Yeah.
Yeah. I think people have this overall vibe, which is fair. Sorry, I got distracted.
What
there.
is that vibe?
By the way, JT nailed it, though. He's like, there are three things you do the pancake. Praying.
Arm wrestling.
Holding your kid's hand.
All right. I'll have to talk to Andy about this.
What if he was like,
I
ew,
need to
that's
talk
gross.
If he says that that's gross, you guys have to go see a counselor.
You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking actually this is my fault. Because I'm thinking back to now the beginnings of our relationship when you're just starting to hold hands. I think he was trying to interlace, and I think I'm the one who went palm to palm.
You interlace blocked him.
I might have.
Well, listen, if
Friend zone.
if you guys are on a walk, he's got other stuff on his mind. He's got to avoid getting stepped on by those giant size nines. So he can't, like, he needs his space, right? If he's holding hands, he's risking a major
He's
foot
holding
injury.
on for dear life.
Yeah.
So he needs a stronger grip and the fingers don't do it.
I mean, no offense, but you can't interlock, with a clown.
I have
Interlocking with a
gigantic
clown with
feet.
the big
I know,
red
man.
shoes, you're
I
not
do.
interlocking.
Also, the ground's shaking slightly underneath them. Yeah.
There's a lot going on if you and your husband are on a walk.
We don't hold hands a lot. Come to think of it.
Yeah, you are married. Like, been married for a while. Why would you hold hands?
I have my huge, gigantic
Yeah.
feet that are so freakishly large. Yep. All right, Bogusch, hang out, will you? We need some headlines. We didn't do anything there.
No, we did a lot.
And yet we did everything.
We did everything, actually.
All right, go.
We might have broken your marriage, but back to sports.
And we found out there's sandwiches in the break room. EJ, you want to put the poll question up? Do you interlace the fingers or go palm to palm with a significant other?
Yeah. You might do an image to explain it, too.
Yeah, that's good. A visual.
Yeah.
Clearly not from my relationship. You're not getting the interlock.
It's not going to be on Maggie's camera roll, I'll tell you that.
Nope. Okay, coming up, Aaron Rodgers and headlines next. Where did that conversation start?
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining.
the screen sure is. Kristen Field starts her day like this. Maggie and Perloff live on YouTube. She swears that Manny's sending her clues. Kristen Fields, the queen of the screen, thinks every video shout out is part of her dream. In the chat or the clips, it's all how it feels. Manny's playing YouTube just for Kristen Fields. A lot he's still missing, he won't punch that clock. But Kristen's online, she's taking her spot. When Robin from San Fran dropped her video cheer, Kristen swore Manny rolled that tape just for her ears. Kristen Fields, she's part of the show. First light of morning with her camera glow. Every live stream moment, it's all so real. Man, he's spinning YouTube just for Kristen Fields. While Maggie's laughing and Perloff grins, Kristen's convinced that the message is in. Through the pixels and the morning reels, it's all about one name, Kristen Fields. Kristen Fields, she's up with the dawn, with the YouTube stream rolling and her coffee on. Forget Pilates shift, he won't show up still, but the channel keeps humming for Kristen Fields. Live on YouTube, Maggie, Perloff, and of course, Kristen.
One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining.
Maggie walks with her husband hand in hand, but she don't weave fingers like most folks plan. Her grip's straight line, her style's unique, and don't forget she's stepping with those giant feet. No interlace and them shoes don't fit. Maggie's got a stride with a whole lot of kick. From the sidewalk shuffle to the YouTube seat, she's holding flat hands and big old feet. He don't interlace and he won't show the work. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand.
Nice job, Manny. Question for you today. Do you
I get it.
Do you hold hands with your significant other, like interlace the fingers? That's called waffle, apparently. Or do you just hold hands palm to palm? That's called pancakes.
Yeah, and EJ just threw that out there. It seems like, EJ, you've thought about this before or read about it before?
I watched that show, Cloak and Dagger, and every time waffles and pancakes come up, I bring it up, and it always results in a 10-minute conversation. Every time.
Mm-hmm.
It is just like, no one thinks about it until you think about it. And usually, if you're a normal couple, you're like, oh, yeah, well, you do the interlocking fingers. And then I met Maggie today.
Yeah, my husband and I don't interlock our fingers when we hold hands, and apparently I'm the weirdo. Let's get to Bogusch, who's got headlines for us.
And these headlines are sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com.
You see a little wee-wee.
In Saturday's Kansas-Missouri game, the Tigers were flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct after their first touchdown. The yardage assessed on the ensuing kickoff, before which Mizzou head coach Eli Drinkwitz asked if they could punt instead of kicking off like the tee, like usual, knowing the rule book didn't actually allow that.
We just wanted to see if we could. It's like asking your parents if you can do something that they probably shouldn't let you do, but sometimes they get it wrong.
So cross the street without holding your mom's hand?
Yeah. So
what if one of your players did something like that? You might not think it's so funny.
But they knew they couldn't do it. They asked anyway, and the officials said, sure, punt away. So they punted. That's illegal. And the Big 12 has removed this crew from its assignment for this weekend as punishment.
I saw that the crew got removed.
Yes.
I'm like, that seems a little crazy.
I don't know. Like, it's one thing to just miss a call. Like, oh, that should have been pass interference, whatever. But when you can't administer the rule book correctly and you get tricked by a coach, you should probably sit a weekend out.
Okay, but what are they going to do that weekend? Cram reading the rule book? Like,
No,
they're
but
going to either ban them for the season and be like, you got to go back to the minor leagues or something, or back to high school. I don't know. Like, what's going to happen in a week? They're all of a sudden going to become smarter?
I mean, hopefully, but I'm almost all for accountability.
Sure.
Whether it gets you to the
fair.
right place, whatever, but this at least is them righting a wrong, so to speak.
Well, I mean, college football officiating is not in a great place, I would say.
No.
They look clueless up and down. I mean, also, too, there's a lot of confusion about replay. Like, I think they rely on replay a lot. And I don't know. They always seem like, I don't know. I get a lot of I don't know looks in college football. And the NFL is
a lot
not.
of shrugging.
I don't know if the NFL
judge.
right now is that far ahead. It's a really hard sport to officiate.
I had my first football game this past weekend, and there was a targeting call. And as we know, they call targeting, and then it goes to review, and they have to confirm every single bullet point for it to be targeting. So this hit happens. It looks like targeting, and they review it for forever, and they come back and they go, no targeting. So when the game is over, we're leaving, I'm walking past a booth where the replay guy sits. And we were talking before the game, so I went back over and I said, hey, just wondering, why wasn't that targeting? Because it was very clear and everyone was confused. And he goes, well, we couldn't confirm contact. And I looked at him like, oh. I mean, I saw the player's head move. I saw the other player's helmet make his head move. And for him to go, we couldn't confirm contact, it was like a startling sentence. And I don't know how to. I was like, good thing I'm not a coach, because I would be freaking out right now if that was the explanation I got.
Is it the same guy for the review for every game, or does it?
It's the same guys, because it's I think it's a geographical kind of assignment thing. So, but it's not always the same person.
It's probably why you guys lost by 21.
Yeah.
One of the reasons.
Was that argument maybe he hit his shoulder, not his head, like not helmet to helmet? Because that happens a lot where it looks like it's helmet to helmet, then you see the helmet goes in his shoulder or the chest.
But the rule says it doesn't have to be helmet to helmet. It's any forcible contact to the player's head. It can be a forearm, shoulder, helmet. It was just very...
Oh, wait, but the helmet sometimes snaps back. Even if you get hit in the chest, it looks like your helmet.
Yeah, no, it looked like it was...
But it was definitely a helmet to helmet comment. Ugh.
Or maybe I'm dumber and more blind than I think.
Who did Florida lose to?
It doesn't matter.
They lost to Monmouth University. But it was better than Boston College.
Thankfully, it was better than Boston College.
That final score was 66-10.
Yeah, but I'll remind you, the Boston College is a ACC team, and Monmouth is not.
Actually, we got an email, speaking of Maggie and Perloff at gmail.com. It's not just for Kevin to send us a picture of his breakfast every morning, although we do like that. Matt had sent an email over the weekend that said, look at the scores from Saturday's college football: 62-14, 63-9, 69-3, 70-0, 73-0, 77-3. Seriously, should beating up on Little Sister of the Poor even count as a win? Maybe a mercy rule is needed to protect the players. Stop the game at halftime. That's Matt in NorCal.
No. I mean, listen, Oregon was up 69-3 in the third quarter, and they
did. They stopped.
They just stopped.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. I mean, you're paying all this money to these little schools to do
But you
this.
can still pay the money. It's
for half. But you go to the stadium, you want to see, you want to see Alabama play. That's not fair to
I think they do like running clock and I think maybe 10-minute quarters. I think with some of these blowouts when that happens. It might not be in every conference,
I
but
saw
they do
one,
it somewhere.
I saw one game, fourth quarter was 8 minutes long. I forgot which game it was, though.
An FBS team was in this
Yeah.
game?
Yes.
Yeah. I
They
did
played
update.
I didn't know that.
Top of the hour. It's Wednesday, which means the great debate. We got a good one for you today. Really, really fun. Has to do with coaches. We'll do that next. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Maggie walks with her husband hand in hand, but she don't weave fingers like most folks plan. Her grip's straight line, her style's unique, and don't forget she's stepping with those giant feet. No interlace and them shoes don't fit. Maggie's got a stride with a whole lot of kick. From the sidewalk shuffle to the YouTube seat, she's holding flat hands and big old feet. He's got his own quirk. He don't interlace and he won't show for work. When the roster rolls, the chair's still bare. Guess his hands and his time ain't never been there. No interlace, no clock to punch. The Lottie's missing mornings, Maggie's stepping to lunch. One's got feet like a size 15. The other's off duty, nowhere to be seen. Some walk on their toes, but Maggie's got a footprint everywhere she goes. And Bellotti, well, he's just MIA. Might be sleeping through another work day. No interlace and them shoes don't fit. Maggie's got a stride with a whole lot of kick. From the sidewalk shuffle to the YouTube seat, she's holding flat hands and big old feet. Careful now. One step from Maggie and you'll be out the door. And Bellotti, he probably wouldn't notice anyway. Peter Bellotti, he's got his own quirk. He don't interlace and he won't show for work. When the roster rolls, the chair's still bare. Guess his hands and his time ain't never been there. No interlace, no clock to punch. The Lottie's missing mornings, Maggie's stepping to lunch. When the roster rolls, the chair's still bare. Guess his hands and his time ain't never been there. Some folks like fingers, some walk on their toes, but Maggie's got a footprint everywhere she goes.
All right, this is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports.
And everywhere she goes, and Bellotti, well, he's just MIA. Might be sweeping through another workday. There folks love full flock fingers, some walk on their toes. But Maggie's got a footprint everywhere she goes, and Bellotti, well, he's just MIA. Might be sweeping through another workday. Five folks lock fingers, some walk on their toes. But Maggie's got a footprint everywhere she goes, and Bellotti, well, he's just MIA. Might be sleeping through another workday. Careful now. One step from Maggie, and you'll be out the door. And Bellotti, he probably wouldn't notice anyway. the screen sure is. Kristen Fields starts her day like this. Maggie and Perloff live on YouTube. She swears that Manny's sending her clues. Kristen Fields, the queen of the screen, thinks every video shout out is part of her dream. In the chat or the clips, it's all how it feels. Manny's playing YouTube just for Kristen Fields. A lot he's still missing. He won't punch that clock, but Kristen's all
Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Got our eye on NFL coaches today. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff, and it is a great debate Wednesday around here. If you want to say this is inspired by Mike McDaniel, well then go ahead. McDaniel has been nothing short of a character ever since he got hired with the Dolphins, Pearl.
I love it now. I used to be a little annoyed by it because I'm like focused on coaching. You know, when he would do that thing where he ran on the field and
start sprinting away from the camera,
vape on the sideline, or
that was a miserable experience.
Or get philosophical in a press conference when you're just supposed to try and get through it.
Heads were another day closer to death.
Yeah, I love it.
To me, it wears really thin when you're not winning.
Yeah,
but it has inspired today's great debate. Go ahead, Manny.
The Great Debate Series.
Okay, today's great debate question: who is the greatest NFL coaching character of all time? So not the greatest NFL coach, and maybe not the most embarrassing or silly or anything like that. The biggest character, Pearl, and Mike McDaniel certainly lands on the list. He's been non-conventional, unconventional since the moment he arrived as the head coach in Miami. He's probably the first coach fired this year, barring a miracle, but he certainly has our attention.
Okay, I'm going to go full circle here. I don't know if you guys followed this media beef, but Rex Ryan on ESPN went after Mike McDaniel, called him Nerd Boy.
McGenius, I think, was the other.
Yeah, so Rex Ryan's father, Buddy Ryan, my former coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, former defensive coordinator for Chicago Bears, is easily the greatest character coaching has ever seen.
Some folks claim I'm hard to get along with.
That's Buddy Ryan taking a swing at Kevin Gilbride.
Ryan's arrogant, they say.
You're better off doing it Buddy's way.
Ryan's a know-it-all.
I'm going to scream at the All-Pros. I'm going to scream at the rookies.
Hey, 55. Who you think's got this?
Hey, what the hell happened on that nickel that Gary let him catch that ball in there?
Buddy didn't grade you like, hey, that's a plus, that's a minus, that's a zero. If you made a mental mistake, you were a dumbass.
So this coach, just to know who he is, if you're obviously a lot of people who are young, don't know much about what Buddy Ryan stood for. He put a $200 bounty on the opposing kicker who he had cut in the preseason in the Cowboys game. It became known as the Bounty Bowl and bragged about it openly. It was a better NFL. It was 1989. You could do those kind of things.
Better NFL.
And then so one of the linebackers, the kicker just does a beeline and pancakes the kicker. And everyone's like, why did he do that? Well, there was money involved. And Buddy
something
Ryan,
to Buddy, but he wouldn't stand on the field long enough. He put his big fat rear end into the dressing room.
I resent that. I've been on a diet. I lost a couple of pounds, and I thought I was looking good.
Buddy was the best. Could not win a playoff game to save his life, but he's the most aggressive coach, and he had a lot of great sound bites. That's my choice.
Buddy Ryan, we're asking who was the greatest NFL coaching character of all time. Thank you to Mike McDaniel and a little Rex Ryan who got involved in that this week, got us inspired here. For me, it's a guy who is currently coaching. Did it on the college level, doing it on the pro level. Jim Harbaugh.
That's not a first down. No, where you going? Yeah, throw it. He ran into him. False start tight end. He roughed him. What do you mean? No! Huh?
Coach, you're the best coach out of all coaches.
Feel free to get the word out on that. I wish I liked water more. I don't like water. I have to shower in it. That's about it.
This is his intensity. Don't forget when Jim Harbaugh got into it with Jim Schwartz, after a game. So always there with the dust up, but also the isms. Who's got it better than us? Nobody, which really was his father who came up with that. Saying the chickens are a nervous bird, then taking that back, saying actually he respects the chicken because how efficient the chicken is, because of how many eggs that it lays. More from Jim Harbaugh. I don't take vacations. I don't get sick. I don't observe major holidays. I'm a jackhammer. He's got it all. And you're never sure what's going to come out of his mouth. The recent win over the Chiefs in Brazil, he said, we will always remember this day as one of the greatest moments in Chargers history. It was week 1.
Don't you think it's interesting? This lovable Jim Harbaugh is more of a modern change. I think 10 years ago, he was considered a hardcore guy. Like, he was not likable. And then all of a sudden, he started being funny as all get out. He was intense. He was a pleated khakis, and he was not nice. He was in San Francisco and early on in Michigan. I don't think, he was not media friendly. And then he's like, hey, you know what? Let's have some fun. And he became hysterically funny.
Yeah, not always lovable is what you're saying. And super intense. And I think to be on this list, you have to be good at what you do also. That makes you even more of a character because people have to respect you football-wise. And Harbaugh, 56-25-1. Over his NFL coaching career.
Yeah, and won a national title in
nearly
Michigan.
70%, and got to the Super Bowl ups.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Michigan had not been sniffing around the title for a long time, so that was a huge deal.
Okay, we're asking who is the greatest NFL coaching character ever, inspired by Mike McDaniel. Who do you got, EJ?
So, a little bit forgotten because he's been in a lot of the spotlight, but I think if you think of the 1980s and you think about some of the wacky characters that were on the sidelines, one man who liked the color black and liked cowboy boots and Elvis, maybe a little too much, comes to mind.
When I think of Jerry Glanville, I think, when did Chuck Norris try to become an NFL coach?
Anybody nervous? Anybody scared? This is NFL, which stands for not for long when you make them calls. I'll be selling groceries.
Very, very unique guy. He would leave tickets for celebrities that had passed away, like Elvis Presley or James Dean.
Here's the ticket. Yeah. James Dean. We'll call for him.
Okay, we'll make sure he gets it.
Thank you very much.
Good luck today.
I mean, Jerry Glanville was something else. The minister of the Grits Blitz defense, and somebody who was actually a pretty good coach. He was really good with the Oilers, really good with the Falcons, but when it came to just characters, again, luckily for the Falcons, he wore black, so it made sense. But wearing black for the Oilers, who were this light blue and red team, seemed a little interesting. And again, was this massive fan of Elvis, had all these quotables, definitely was one of the early coaches into a lot of self-promotion, definitely one of the great characters, and underrated color analyst, too, when he became a broadcaster. I love Jerry Glanville. I think he's one of the unfortunate forgotten men in the NFL. One of my favorites.
Wasn't
Jerry
he
Glanville.
Just coaching recently?
I think he was. I think he coached in college, right?
Was all the black, though, for Johnny Cash? Was that
No,
what
he's coaching now. Northwestern Oklahoma State. He's a defensive coordinator. Yeah, he's
Let's get him on the
coached
show.
in his 80s. No, he's amazing. I'm a huge fan.
You know, it's funny. I think he's actually remembered most now for the guy who traded Brett Favre.
Yeah.
But what a character.
I think he's most known for the black.
And wearing black.
Yeah. He didn't really trade Brett Favre, though. I mean, he did, and is that what he's known for? I don't think of that at all. Because, Brett Favre was nothing in Atlanta. He might not even play it.
No, I understand, but that's, what Favre became, a 3-time MVP, Super Bowl champ. Anyway, we're asking who is the greatest NFL coaching character of all time? Manny Guapo, go ahead.
I will go ahead with a gentleman who finished with a .731 career win percentage in the National Football League.
Nick Sirianni?
Boom!
Hey, throw the goddamn flag! That son of a...
Man, don't get excited, John. Relax.
Son of a...
May God rest his soul. Super Bowl champion. He was named. The video game, the sports video game, is named after him. Had an incredible career as well as a broadcaster, where he was first introduced to me. I'll go with John Madden.
John Madden's a great example. And did you guys see the more photos from the movie set where Nick Cage is playing John Madden in the biopic?
This is one of my giant pet peeves in life.
What's that?
People are tweeting Nick Cage is barely recognizable as John Madden, and it is so obviously Nick Cage. I'm looking at every picture. Like, if you can't tell that's Nick Cage from 10 miles away. Meanwhile, Christian Bale is playing Al Davis and is totally unrecognizable. Nick Cage looks like basically looks like the guy from National Treasure playing a football coach. Anyway, but I can't wait.
I can't wait to watch John Madden steal the Declaration of Independence.
Did he gain the weight or is it a fat suit?
Oh, that's a great question.
I think a little bit of both. I thought I read that he got so he does it's not prosthetics around his face and stuff, but I think there's an enhancement to the gut area.
A lot of pancakes and waffles.
And Nick Cage is also doing the next season of True Detective. Did you guys know that?
No.
He's having a full renaissance.
Good for Nick.
We are asking you today, who is the greatest NFL coaching character of all time? That's our great debate. Bogues, take it home.
I'm going old school. My suggestion, I know him as a former Houston Oilers head coach, but he was also the head coach of the New Orleans Saints at one point. We all know his son, Wade. I give you Bum Phillips, a guy who coached in cowboy boots, cowboy hats, had a Texas twang, and said crazy things like this.
Some cattle you have to drive, and some cattle you have to lead. They're kind of like football players. Some of them you lead, some of them you drive.
There was also this.
Oh, I feel like I've been run over by a truck, but I feel real good.
And maybe he's most famous for saying, they say the harder we played, the behinder we got. There's also great NFL Films video of him on the sidelines. So I give you Bum, and his name is Bum Phillips is one of the most colorful coaches in NFL history.
Great options. Is Deion now coaches with the cowboy hat on, right?
Yeah,
well, not really, because you have to have the headset.
Yeah,
so
he doesn't coach with it. I see him in the practice field with it, though.
Yeah, everywhere else he's wearing the cowboy hat.
And let's not forget shallow.
It's also an accessory for Deion. Like, if you're
it's
from
a lifestyle
Texas,
for
right?
Bum,
Like if it's like equipment, that's different.
There you go. The greatest coaching characters of all time. Did anyone think about Rex Ryan? It's one of them.
I did.
But not when you have Buddy out there.
Buddy's the OG.
He was my first guess, but then I saw Buddy Ryan, and I kind of misread the text, so that's why I went with John Madden.
Okay.
Well, what was Rex crazy? Rex was so much more logical than his dad. His dad was a wild
damn
man.
snack.
Rex was like kind of like, I think he was all for show, right?
Let's make sure we play like the New York Jets.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Rex and Rob together.
Rob's hair.
I mean, Rex, remember, he came into a press conference dressed as Rob.
Yeah, with a wig on.
Yeah, with a blonde wig on and a brown shirt.
Rex likes feet, too.
There's that.
And we know that, and he's never, ever tried to deny that he's got a foot fetish.
Well, I do feel like
something.
He's definitely a character, but I do feel like it's interesting. We went old school because you used to be able to have a little more character as a head coach. That was a lot of, even Mike McDaniel's like a little analytics nerd.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't think there's as many wild characters. I mean, Harbaugh's a great choice, but there aren't as many wild characters there used to be. Baseball is even worse. Baseball used to have madmen running on the managers. Now you don't even know who the managers are.
No, not even. It's like the front office. It's just the manager is just the marionette.
Yeah, they've also removed so many arguments with review and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. What are you going to really? Although Aaron Boone still finds a way to get kicked out once a week.
But football is a little bit of that, where the front office, like Brian Callahan could walk in right here, right now, and we'd say, like, "Are you here to fix the computers?" Like a lot of the modern coaches are.
Is Bogusch training you today?
Yeah,
yeah, our new update guy.
Actually, that might happen in about 3 weeks. The way Callahan coached that first game.
If he keeps telling you that an elbow down means you also need a foot, like it's a game of Twister, he's going to be in real trouble. All right, that's your great debate for today. 888-710-4ISN, the greatest NFL coaching character of all time. If we had done this with college, we also could have gotten some very fun ones.
Probably be old school too, right? Don't you think immediately?
Yeah, Steve Spurrier.
Yeah.
First guy.
Woody Hayes and Beauchamp.
I got Mike Leach.
Yep.
Oh, Mike Leach was the great
I got
one.
Mike Leach.
Talking about the great, may he rest in peace, the great, battles of all time. Talking about American history.
Modern, I think you might go with Lane, maybe.
And Gundy, right?
I'm 40.
Gundy, yeah.
Yeah.
Right timing, on cue.
We should be friends.
No, I'm good.
Okay, 888-710-4ISN. So you can weigh in. Who is the greatest NFL coaching character? We also have another side topic for you. How do you hold hands with your significant other? Do you interlace your fingers or do you go palm to palm?
What's wrong with you people?
So interlocking the fingers is leading by a heavy margin, 69%, 31%.
There's been research in the Bogusch house. My wife asked my son to hold her hand, and she tried to interlock fingers, and he basically, dry heaved.
I think you could say he did a judo move and was like, get off me.
Yeah, this is revolting. So, yeah.
Just now she did it?
Yeah. Because I asked her, I was like, just so I know I'm not crazy, like when we hold hands, we definitely interlock fingers, right? And she goes, not interlocking is like when you hold a child's small hand. It would be weird to do as two adults. So I said, let me introduce you to Maggie's family.
Oh, God.
It's like I know things. It's like I know things. I know things. Oh, what about your daughter? Has she held your daughter's hand?
Yeah, and I would definitely never interlock fingers with her.
No, you're.
Oh, she's not home. She's already gone.
Oh, versus.
Yeah.
The other poll question we have for you at Maggie and Pearl on X is, will Dan Lanning still be at Oregon a decade from now? Overwhelmingly, you guys are saying no. But Perloff, to your point, where do you go now? Like, Oregon's one of the best places you can be at, because I imagine Phil Knight has written in to his will that Oregon gets as much money as they need from now till the end of time.
But to get the most money, don't you have to switch jobs? Isn't that the way employment works? You have to leave.
You could pretend to leave.
Yeah, but how
That
much can you
gets you.
push that? And the NFL. I'm trying to find this text Maggie had about parenting that will kill you guys. You'll laugh so hard.
What was that?
Oh, it's about asking your son how his first day of school was. I died. We're
I don't
talking
remember what I
about,
said.
yeah, because we're all at different, the three parents on this side of the glass. Just, yeah. Bogusch, it was a good point because I'm like, I get nothing. Not only do my kids not hold my hands, I ask, how was school? And they say, shut up, Dad. It's like there's no interest whatsoever in interacting.
Oh, this is what I wrote to you. I said, archaeologists have a more accurate read on extinct dinosaurs than I have on Lucas's first day. Although I did get the whole plot to Harry the Dirty Dog. So I was like, you were paying attention. There we go.
Thank goodness.
No clue about anything else. Okay, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. The great debate today. Who is the greatest NFL coaching character of all time?
All right, Maggie. Football season is here. Baseball is going on. WNBA, video games, soccer, you name it. It's on PrizePicks every day. We make choices, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Millions of users, billions of dollars awarded in winnings. PrizePicks is the best place to put your takes to the test. So simple to use. Just pick two or more players across any sport. Pick more or less on their projections, and if you're right, you could win big.
Okay, I was halfway there last night.
Yeah.
Casey Mize with the strikeouts got me, but unfortunately, Julio Rodriguez only went 1 for 4, so his hitter fantasy score was not high enough. But I'm back at it tonight with Jose Ramirez over an 8.5 hitter fantasy score because that guy is hitting home runs like crazy right now. And maybe I'll pair it up with Kyle Freeland, and I'm going to go under less than 3.5 pitcher strikeouts. See, this is the kind of fun stuff that we get to do on PrizePicks, and you can play along with us. All the transactions on the app, they're fast, they're safe, secure. Don't miss any of the action this season with PrizePicks. So what do? Download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code M&P. Get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code M&P on PrizePicks to get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. Guaranteed. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P. You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Sun ain't up, but the screen sure is. Christian Field starts his day like this. Maggie and Perloff live on YouTube. He swears that many sending in clues. Christian Fields, the king of the stream, thinks every video shout out is part of his dream. In the chat or the clips, it's all how it feels. Man, he's playing YouTube just for Christian Fields. Belotti's still missing, he won't punch that clock. But Christian's online, he's taking his spot. When Robin from San Fran dropped her video cheer, Christian swore, man, he rolled that tape just for his ears. Christian Fields, he's part of the show. First light of morning with his camera glow. Every live stream moment, it's all so real. Man, he's spinning YouTube just for Christian Fields. Maggie's laughing and Perloff grins. Christian's convinced that the message is in. Through the pixels and the morning reels, it's all about one name, Christian Fields. Christian Fields, the king of the stream, thinks every video shout out is part of his dream. In the chat or the clips, it's all how it feels. Man, he's playing YouTube just for Christian Fields. He's cool too. Maggie, Perloff, and of course, our guy, Christian. But that in the chat or the clips, it's all how it feels. Man, he's playing YouTube just for Christian Fields. He's still missing, he won't punch that clock. But Christian's online, he's taking his
Break
spot.
ends
When
in
Robin
5
from
seconds.
San Fran dropped her video cheer, Christian swore, man, he rolled that tape just for Christian Fields. Loud, he's still.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Great debate Wednesday. Greatest character amongst NFL head coaches of all time. It's funny. I think most of the room went old school. Kind of. I feel like Andrew Bogusch, Manny, and I kind of picked. Wait, who picked Jerry Glanville?
I did.
EJ.
Oh, EJ. Sorry. Kind of picked the same guy. Jerry Glanville, Buddy Ryan, and Bum Phillips are all sort of these kind of cowboy 80s coaches. That was a thing, Maggie. Like, Bum Phillips wearing a cowboy hat and walking his highlight was not surprising in 1985. That's how coaches roll. Now they're all kind of analytic nerds. But Jim Harbaugh could have fit in the 80s. Let's face it, he's a man out of time.
Yeah, but I don't want to discount some of the current crop of coaches as far as characters. Now, this was inspired by Mike McDaniel because he's just like insane at the podium. But I picked Jim Harbaugh. Dan Campbell is a character.
He's definitely a character.
For sure.
I think Mike Vrabel could count. He's he has his moments. Like Vrabel, it's
We're
not so
gonna bite
much
a kneecap off.
It's not so much at the press conference, but Vrabel still gets out there and goes up against his players, tackling them. He's still out on the practice field trying to test people's manhood like that.
I just think of that draft where he had the guy in the freeze suit in the background doing weird stuff.
He had someone in the bathroom with the door open.
Oh, God. What's the name of their first round pick again that I'm blanking on right now? The tackle from LSU.
Will Campbell?
Will Campbell. He said that for his workout, Mike Vrabel showed up in full pads and uniform to do drills with him.
He does that.
That dude's a nut.
Exactly. We
he's
have a lot of characters right now.
I think Campbell boxes out Vrabel a little bit, though, because Campbell's a little nuttier. I would say Campbell, kind of has that corner right now
Who wins in a
over
fist fight?
Vrabel.
Who wins in a fist fight?
Oh, that's tough. It's also it's a lifestyle for Campbell. All the going for it on fourth downs and the living on the edge stuff.
When Vrabel was in Tennessee, we didn't talk about him that much.
And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap
And also Campbell had to turn around like a losing culture, like a losing organization with the Lions.
You will admit there are a bunch of boring coaches, though, like Matt LaFleur, like those guys. Like,
oh, yeah.
There are a lot of just sort of.
Sean McDermott's like that.
Yeah, oh my God, Sean McDermott seems wonderfully nice, but not a character.
Yeah, it feels like there are way less of those guys in the 80s. Because even the greatest coaches were like characters.
Landry was stoic and quiet, but he's a character. I mean, walked the sideline in a fedora, and he was awesome.
How about the phones? 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. We're asking, who is the greatest NFL coaching character of all time? Adrian is in Maryland. Hey, Adrian, who do you have?
Hey, I got if you didn't watch the Dallas documentary, you would have never knew Barry Switzer was such a character all the way back to college. It was just some of the stuff he said on there, and the stories they told about him was so hilarious. Also, I got one more thing. I think we all got to give Brian Flores an apology about Tua, because he's really showing what he said. It's true. So we all beat Flores down for saying, I didn't draft you. I didn't want to draft you. You're really not that good. And it's all coming to fruition.
Adrian, it's a good point. I mean, you and I maybe will disagree that, like, do you also have to realize as a head coach, like some guys you really have to give like a pat on the back and some is like a smack in the, in the behind, and like to understand that, is it also Brian Flores' fault to understand what would motivate Tua? And obviously it wasn't being so hard on him. Some guys can take that kind of coaching, some can't. Also, Tua came from Nick Saban, who I'm sure was not exactly easy to play for.
I think also, too, my critique of Flores is like he ran that team like a defensive coordinator. Like you have this sort of Ferrari offense. Like Flores did not fit. They drafted Tua and they were going to make him like a high-flying offense. And Flores is like, I want to win with defense. That was a bad marriage.
No, he's been excellent, though, as defensive coordinator. I imagine he would get another job, but, how he handled the Tua thing also might stand in his way still, but maybe it shouldn't. And then Barry Switzer, Pearl, I know you watched the Jerry documentary like 14 times. You first meet Barry Switzer, in this documentary, and he's like flipping off the camera, which is just kind of hilarious.
I used to work with a guy named Spencer Tillman, who's on a longtime color commentator. He's great. He was with Barry Switzer at Oklahoma and would tell all these stories. He was literally God at Oklahoma. He had a button. He had all these buttons around his office so he could make doors close. And then he played for Glanville, he said Glanville was even crazier than Switzer. He came into the pros to play for Glanville, who was great. But yeah, that's old school, baby. College coaches from the 70s and 80s. I mean, there's no stopping them. They were basically sort of gods on campus. I love Barry Switzer. And you're right. The doc, did you know all that about Barry Switzer? I did not.
No, it is very fun. We'll go back through another time on that. George is in L.A., wants to talk about the other topic we were talking about. When you hold hands with your significant other, do you interlock your fingers or do you just go palm to palm? Apparently it's called waffles versus pancakes, which on a morning show certainly got our attention. What's up, George?
Well, good morning, you guys. I used to until I got into UFC when I was younger, and they teach you never interlock your fingers, because if you're not ready, you can break your hand, break your fingers, break your wrist. Pretty dangerous situation.
With a significant other, you're going to break your hand?
No, but it just sticks with you, man, when you're trained that way. When you grab somebody's hand or you're holding the hand, you just the palm, because it's hard to explain, but it's like almost like military training, and you don't want to go there, that thing. I know it sounds weird, but it's almost instinct to survive.
Interesting. Wait, is this a military thing or a football thing? Because we know you were a football player in college.
Well, after I left football, I got into a lot of stuff, military and also UFC and government stuff. But besides that, it's almost instinct to survive, not to interlock fingers. I know with the females different, but even some females that might surprise you.
George, you are the man of mystery. Thank you for that.
That took a very dark turn.
She could be a spy. You don't know. How well do we know the people we're sleeping next to?
Break the hell out of your fingers.
Yeah.
I know George is like, hey, I feel really good about the Rams this week against the Seahawks. I did not know that he was basically dark ops.
There's one thing that I once heard on a military thing, like a CIA type thing that I follow as a civilian. I have no training whatsoever, but something that always stood with me, which is apparently you're not supposed to stop your car very close to the car in front of you. Because if you ever needed to get away.
Yeah, bro.
And like you'd be trapped. So I still follow that. I will not stop. I usually leave like 10 feet at least behind me in another car.
10 feet might be egregious, but yes, leave some space. Obviously, yeah, you got to.
My driving instructor taught me you have to see the back of their tires because young drivers tend to rear end people because they are not good.
Anyone else get any pseudo military training?
Mine was on the FBI.
Never interlock fingers.
I'm sorry. I'm caught. I have a list of the angriest NFL coaches of all time. By the way.
Oh, can I guess who's number one?
Yeah, please.
Bill Parcells.
Parcells is no. This is dumb.
Belichick.
No, this is a dumb list. For some reason, Cowher was number one. I don't know when this was written.
Kind of looks like Sergeant Slaughter.
But there are a lot of characters. Ditka is number two. We talked about him. He has not come up. And Denny Green, Jim Mora, Bill Parcells is three. Those are a lot of characters. Like Ditka, maybe we're not giving him enough love.
Well, let's go to Mike in Syracuse. Wanted to bring up Mike Ditka. Why do you think he's the greatest football character of all time, Mike?
Well, he's pretty much responsible for a running gag on like Saturday Night Live with the late George Wendt and Chris Farley with the Bears super fan. There you go. There you go. Now, the one thing that I would always like to bring up whenever we talk about characters and head coaches in the NFL is John McKay's first year with Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
He was famously asked about his team's execution, and his answer was, I'm all for it.
Yeah, do you know Brian Kelly, I think, tried to pull off like a send-up to John McKay, and he did it in a way that was so awkward.
I'm here with my family.
And it didn't land. Mike, that's a great one. And, you know, I remember of one of the episodes of the Bears super fans where they're like, we're going to answer questions from the audience. I said, Bears are flying to the Bears flying to LA for a game. Whole plane crashes. Only person who survives is Ditka. Ditka by 30.
My favorite was, all right, Ditka's in the Indy 500 this weekend, driving the team bus. By the way, I thought about John McKay because I love the execution line. And I'm Googling, is John Robinson a great NFL character? I got him confused with John Robinson, the former Rams coach, and went on a deep dive and couldn't find anything on either guy. So I forgot. That's a reasonable mistake for any NFL historian.
Wait, should Belichick be on the list? We're talking about the greatest NFL coaching characters of all time?
Like awkward, like characters, but we mentioned fun people. He's sort of dour.
Yeah, but
but he is a character.
He's a character. Right? The hoodie, the cheating.
But is he having fun with it though?
Well, if you believe everyone that knows him and say that he's the MRI, that he's like funny and different in person, then he is like playing a character as the coach.
I don't believe that.
I mean, I wouldn't put him on the list.
Yeah,
but
I get it. This cut off hoodies, that's some kind of character.
Like a signature kind of thing. Quickly, Wilson's in California. Wilson, who's the greatest NFL coaching character of all time?
Well, good morning. Nice to talk to you guys again. I offer to you perhaps the best head coach mic'd up in Super Bowl history, Super Bowl IV, Hank Stram.
Yeah, the matriculating down the field, and we have some of that. Let's hear it.
Come on, get up there faster, Eugene. You're too slow. Come on. Oh, it's too slow. Get the humperdinck over here. You ever want a job running one of these machines, let me know. I'll write you a nice recommendation. That's it. Yeah.
What was it? 64 toss-power trap or something like that?
Yeah, Wilson, fantastic one. Hank Stram. You know, we also had a little Mike Ditka sound. Let's play a little of that.
Doesn't matter which one run. There'll be a quarterback that'll be named next week that'll be the starter. There's 3 quarterbacks on this football team. Whichever one starts. Whichever ones don't, will back him up. Period. Cut and dried. It's nobody's concern but ours. Nobody's. Next.
Injuries from the game?
Talk to the trainer. Next.
Wow.
Mike, why are you in such a bad mood?
What do you care?
Right.
Okay. If you were 2-7, you'd be in a bad mood too.
Awesome. All right. Keep them coming. The greatest NFL coaching characters of all time is our great debate. What's up, Bogusch?
As we've already discussed this morning, a pseudo-suspension for Jalen Carter for spitting on Dak Prescott Thursday night. Since he did so before the first snap of the game, the NFL says Carter has already served a one-game suspension. He is also losing his game check, which is roughly $57,000. And the Eagles have also agreed not to use this punishment to try and get back any guaranteed money from Carter in the future. Pearl also gets a win from the Niners yesterday, who are finally waiving kicker Jake Moody. And George Kittle goes on IR with that hamstring injury. San Francisco has 4 games in the next 23 days, and Kittle's likely to miss all of them, so they might as well open a roster spot. I was told that Trent Grisham robbed a homer for the Yankees last night. Thank goodness he did, or they would have lost 13-2 instead.
Pitch. Swing on, line drive to the gap in left center field. All kinds of trouble. That'll play 2 more. Kerry Carpenter thinking 3. He's going to get there, too. And in with a pop-up slide, a 2-run triple. Kerry Carpenter. And the doors have been blown off here at the stadium. It's 10-2 Detroit.
So the New York Yankees, damn it.
Yeah, the professional play-by-play from Dave Sims, the very personal "Are you kidding me?" from Susan Waldman. But I can't blame her.
Hey now!
Tigers in the midst of scoring 9 runs in the 7th inning. The runs charged to relievers Fernando Cruz and Mark Leiter Jr. That dynamic duo did not record an out while walking 4 and hitting a batter.
I wish someone would explain it to me.
Plus some hits to fuel the 9-run inning.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great.
No.
At some point during that inning, I think it was after the 5th run where I realized, it was like the SpongeBob meme where I just kind of got up and said, all right, I'm getting ready for bed. I'm out.
You got to realize something here, Manny, in this digital age.
Dímelo.
You are leaving quite a footprint that if, heaven forbid, something ever happened to Trent Grisham, like he ends up in a freezer somewhere, you are going to be the number 1 suspect.
Yeah.
The undying blind love that Manny shows to Trent Grisham in our group chat is it's borderline psychotic. And
Obsession.
I'm just here to this should count. If the authorities if something bad ever happens to Trent Grisham, I'm knock on wood, Manny didn't do it.
I think if he was going to kill Trent Grisham, I think he would then try to replace him on the field. Like we'd be watching the Yankees game, like, wow, Trent Grisham looks a lot like Manny right now. Take over Trent Grisham.
I mean, Trent Grisham is 5'10". I'm 5'9". We both have a mustache. All I have to do is just gain another 40 pounds of muscle
and skill
and a little bit of skill. Yeah, probably, and I'll be all right. I could be Trent Grisham.
Just make sure you secure the skin suit correctly so it doesn't fall off and reveal your identity.
Yeah, if he shaved the mustache, would you still be into him?
No.
That is sad.
Does he hit another 30 home runs for the Yankees?
Also, too, are you a righty or a lefty?
I'm a switch hitter, baby.
Okay.
I'll switch it up. I'm a switch. You know what I mean?
And the highest level you played at was?
Freshman baseball.
Same. What else you got, Bud?
Well, that 12-2 Yankee loss drops them 3 games behind the Jays in the AL East. Toronto fought off Houston 4-3-10 last night. The Bombers also in a virtual tie with their friends from Boston. That's atop the wild card standings because the Sox blanked the A's in Sacramento 6-0. Connolly Early K'ing 11 over 5 shutout innings in his big league debut.
Anthony Early?
Yes. The Seattle Storm clinched the final WNBA playoff spot with a 74-73 home win over Golden State. And U.S. men's soccer back to its winning ways.
Roldan.
I love you.
Richard Rim.
Fíjate el equipo de Japón cómo se repliega en la distancia entre líneas.
Arsten. Sendeja.
We'll see. Vamos, Andrés. Another one.
Golazo de Sendejas.
Manny, that is
Andrés Cantor, the Argentinian legend himself.
On Telemundo.
Correcto, sí.
And when when he was done yelling, they'd already resumed play.
Well, NBC Universo, if we're going to be technical. But yeah, I mean, I love being Latino. I love listening to this guy.
He is great.
I love listening to him every Saturday, listening to him call English soccer games. And, once in a while, he'll throw the English name in there, and it just throws me off balance. He also does games. He also calls games in English, too. This guy's a unicorn. I love him.
I do love when this is universal. It's not just in Spanish, but in any language foreign to ours. When somebody is talking like in their native tongue, but then says like,
Yankees,
or just like Alex Freeman.
Yeah,
they say it very.
Those de Alexis Diaz, Trent Grisham.
Exactly, and we do it the other way. We just are talking, and then it's just like,
Andres got a lot.
Julio Rodriguez is like, that doesn't sound right coming out of our mouths.
The U.S. beat Japan last night 2-0 in a friendly in Columbus. They had lost their previous 2 matches.
I love how they had the best Japanese soccer players in Columbus, Ohio. We're going to the States, guys. Nice. Where are we going? New York, L.A., Columbus, Ohio.
Well, got to check out the Horseshoe.
I like Columbus.
We've all been
got
there.
like a little Italy thing going.
Yeah, well, when you think of vacation spots in America, where does Columbus, Ohio rank there?
Right, what might be your only trip to America?
Exactly. Like, I
72 hours
finally
in
get to go
Columbus.
to the United States to go. Well, I mean, they qualify for the World Cup, so they'll be coming. So I guess that argument's moot.
I always thought that when we would have foreign exchange students come to Binghamton, New York, like, this is America.
Where are you from? I'm from Tokyo. How'd you end up in Binghamton?
Exactly.
Who was mad at you back at home that sent you to Binghamton?
It's like, is that a skyscraper? It's like, no, it is not. That's the one building we have downtown. Anyway, 888-710-4ISN. 888-710-4. Yeah,
she's holding my hand weird. They do it here.
Well, there's a university there, so there's obviously a lot of foreign students.
It's like Marshawn Lynch when he went out to Buffalo. I thought I was going to be in New York City. It's 8 hours away.
Yeah. Marshawn, I think, spent most of his time in Toronto.
And in Applebee's.
The Applebee's in Toronto. Good time. 888-710-4ISN. The question for you today is our great debate.
Hennessy.
The greatest NFL character, as far as coaches are concerned, coaching character of all time. Just go around the horn again. Perloff picked Buddy Ryan. I picked Jim Harbaugh. EJ picked Jerry Glanville. Manny picked John Madden.
Boom.
And Bogusch picked Bum Phillips. So that's a little bit of the smattering of suggestions for you.
All over the place, but love it.
888-710-4ISN. Come on back.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
These guys are almost gutless, and the ones that aren't that are brainless.
It's gonna be a good day with Maggie and Perloff.
And John McKay, what a character as a coach. Our great debate today is who is the greatest NFL coaching character of all time. Is inspired by Mike McDaniel, but we're going right back into the old days, and we're getting emails about John McKay to maggieandperloff@gmail.com. You guys love him.
Okay, when Mike McDaniel is done coaching, is he going to be remembered more like Adam Gase, who was weird but not in a fun way? Or is he going to be remembered more like Rex Ryan, who was a character in more of a fun way? Like, where's Mike McDaniel on the spectrum? Because Adam Gase, you could be a character, but not in a positive way.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Gase sort of just disappeared off the face of the earth. You know, Rex is sitting next to Mike Greenberg every morning cracking jokes. So
no, I mean, but Gase is like, he's a character, but not in a good way. Like, Gase was not having any fun. He would roll his eyes in this weird way and do all kinds of strange stuff.
Right. So I think the other part of this, we're talking about, who is the greatest NFL coaching character of all time? I think you have to have won a little bit to probably be remembered in this way. In this way, yeah. So I don't think McDaniel's remembered as a fun. Well, he's got, he has a winning record. Like, I was thinking like Chip Kelly as the head coach of the Eagles in San Francisco. Like, he's not going to be remembered as a great character. Like Jim Tomsula was a character. Didn't he have that line about the bathroom or something? Yeah, I remember DA used to say he looked like a plumber who got the job as the head coach of the 49ers. I think that he was a character, but I don't know was he in on the joke? No. Right. That's the thing. But Mike McDaniel tries to be in on the joke with the funny press conferences, and it seems really funny. Yeah, but he doesn't win enough to make it's turned from quirky to annoying because your team went to Indianapolis and got smoked. Yeah, why do I think Jim Tomsula has just something bathroom related? He might. Or gas related or something. I don't know. Actually, Darren Rizzi, if you recall, was the special teams coach for the Saints last year. And when Dennis Allen got fired, he got the job and they said, were you nervous for your first game? And he's like, well, basically, I've been in the bathroom all morning. Somebody call a plumber. I love stories. They're old stories. I think it's Parcells who people would want to interview him after the game, and you have to go to the bathroom. And he's like, "Come on in here, and we're gonna do this while I'm sitting on the toilet." So I like gross. That. I like like asking questions. Like, at least you're getting probably honesty. I'd do. But you can't do it if that's a number one only.
For an interview? No.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm taking a leak.
But Bill Parcells is like, I have to watch tape. I have a lot going on. Like,
In the bathroom?
No. He's multitasking, so he's doing the interview with Gary Myers or whatever. And I think it's Parcells. We got to double check this story. Yeah, I like it.
So I've been trying to do my research on Jim Tomsula. It sounds like he had a lot of weird jobs. And one of them was he was a night janitor. Maybe that's where the bathroom thing comes in.
But and Maggie said he kind of looked like a plumber.
Well, yeah, that was DA who said that. I want to give him full credit.
Yeah.
He also at one point was a medical equipment sales rep, a firewood cutter.
What?
A newspaper delivery man. He cleaned floors at a department store, food sales rep, and was a doormat salesman.
A couple others. You haven't mentioned your guy Mike Singletary, by the way. He's on a lot of these lists. He says some weird stuff.
It took me so much strength not to pick Mike Singletary because of what you guys just said. Like, you have to be like around enough and be good enough to be remembered. And because he was such a great player, I think people forget how insane he was as a head coach.
We're gonna be here all day, baby.
I mean, this guy literally took his pants off in the locker room to say his team was getting pantsed.
You know what's funny? We've paused here on a few 49ers head coaches. Have you noticed that? Like, the 49ers, they're all over the map when they hire head coaches. I mean, they've had obviously maybe the greatest of all time in Bill Walsh, or one of the greatest, but, they get some characters. Chip Kelly, Jim Tomsula. They went through it. Jim Harbaugh, obviously. They've had a few interesting dudes.
Shanahan's relatively straight-laced.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like Mike Shanahan was pretty straight-laced, too. It's kind of like in this day and age also, you can't even, think about, we're going to talk about Brian Callahan not knowing the rule about the fact that an elbow equals 2 feet might stay with him for the rest of his life. Back in the 80s and 90s, when you didn't have social media, I think to keep all this stuff alive forever, you could probably get past certain faux pas.
But I mean, that there are certain things that became iconic, like Jim Morris saying playoffs, Eddie Green crown them.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that become immortalized via clips. Yeah. I don't know, but you're right. Now every little detail is picked apart.
Totally. All right, so keep them coming, guys. The greatest NFL coaching characters of all time. Big Friendly in Cali. What's up, Big Friendly?
Good morning, Maggie Malone, EJ, the Bionic EP, Daddy Lukewarm, Little Big Swifty, Manny Big Bucks. Let me get that loan, baby. I'm good on the VIG. Good morning, and thank you for taking my call.
What's up?
Hey, real quick, Maggie, before I come to your table and I have a serious conversation with Daddy Cool. Rex Ryan had one of the greatest sound bites in history. I have stepped over tougher guys than him to get to a fight.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Maggie Malone, when I come to your table, I come with respect and I try to come with as much facts as possible. Yesterday, Maggie Malone, Daddy Cool had said some slander and disrespectful things about the Rams. Your caller made a disrespectful mark about my Rams. We were not worried about the cold. In the pregame, they were out there with no shirts on. Now, Maggie Malone, am I the only one paying attention to NFL geography, understanding that all football players are not only born in sunny Southern California or sunny Florida? Now, Daddy Cool.
Yes.
My man.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you I can see your hands right now, so I don't need to ask you to show me your hands. The Rams last year, yes, lost to your Eagles in the playoffs. The Rams were the only team that made your Eagles go on podcasts and interviews and say they made us nervous. We are healthy, Daddy Cool.
Yeah.
If the Rams stay healthy, that's the if. Are you honestly saying that we can't bang with the best of them if we stay healthy?
Wait, I'm still sorry, Big Friendly. I'm a little confused. Are we talking about football or horseshoes? Because a near loss doesn't really count for much in my world.
Daddy Cool, I love it. You got him today. Your wife must have made you a great breakfast. Let's get into the weeds. So real quick, Daddy Cool, let's talk football.
All right.
Your Eagles are the defending, reigning Super Bowl champions, and I will respect that. In 2 weeks, they have to lock horns with the mounted horns of L.A., and I don't think the outcome's going to be the same as last year. Now, we made a show bet, but Daddy Cool, please, my good man, with all due respect, let's not have slander against the Rams. Then we would have to file a case against you, and I would hate to do that.
All right, buddy.
Friendly, we hear you. We see you. Thank you for the phone call. That's going to be a good game. That's in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, Philly's got the Chiefs this week, and that's a tough matchup. And then the Rams, this is not going to be easy.
Yeah, your schedule. Woo. At KC, Rams, at Tampa, Denver. That's not easy.
No, not good.
Big news out of Denver yesterday, too, that Perloff wasn't too happy about, I imagine.
We will get to that. We did get some news out of Denver. We've got everything for you, including those year 2 quarterbacks. Remember that class that was going straight to Canton? Let's check on them, shall we? Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Remember that quarterback draft class from last year and how all those first-round picks seemed destined for Canton? Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. I'm talking about Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. We're talking about Drake May, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix. Those were the first-rounders. And Pearl, maybe it's time to take stock of what we saw after week one of the follow-up season, because it was going to be hard for, obviously we didn't see J.J. McCarthy play last year, and Michael Penix only got in at the end of the season. Drake May got a little bit more time, but we had like a sample size on a lot of these QBs. Mm-hmm. And Jaden Daniels, obviously going to the NFC Championship game, being the offensive rookie of the year was awesome. But Bo Nix also went to the playoffs and looked good. What did you see and what stood out to you from the second-year QBs after week one?
Bo Nix, massive disappointment. Denver Broncos, massive disappointment in this game against the Titans, because we don't know the Titans is having a great defense. And Bo Nix looked like he took 5 steps back. Drake May, a little more neutral. Drake May has no receivers, so that stood out to me. Penix, I thought, looked really good. Like, he's the one he was the revelation. And then, if we're going down the list, I thought Caleb wasn't as bad. We've argued a lot of this week on the show. I didn't think Caleb looked as bad as some other people did. And then Jaden Daniels actually looked like he took a tiny step back, or maybe the offense did. So generally it wasn't a great week, but I'm not giving up on any of the guys. First of all, it's 1 week. To me, what really stood out, the eyesore was Bo Nix. I couldn't believe that he just looked so out of sorts for a big chunk of that game.
Yeah, just to give you a little perspective, if you're going by like Pro Football Focus or whatever, one of their grades, and we're just looking at the second-year quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels' grade was like an 84, and Bo Nix's grade was a 40. Like, that's how bad it was, according to the nerds over at Pro Football Focus. To me, I'm starting to worry just a tiny little bit about this draft class in terms of all of the guys, right?
Okay.
So Jaden Daniels, I'm actually not worried about.
Yeah, they won.
They won. Well, we don't know what the Giants are, but they won. I think Terry McLaurin not being around for the offseason, I'll give them a little bit of grace that, new running back that they're breaking in. It's still Cliff Kingsbury. Like, I think they're going to be fine. I thought that team's a little old for me, which is why I don't have them in the playoffs, but I thought Jaden Daniels looked fine.
But their defense is old, and that looked amazing. So
that's true. It's interesting. Drake May, I thought he looked not good in the first game. Now, again, it's the first game. You have a new head coach. He doesn't have a lot of amazing weapons,
That's an understatement.
Exactly. So I'm not writing him off, but I was expecting more from Drake May. I'll agree with you on Penix. J.J. McCarthy in that fourth quarter really showed us something. Nix was a disappointment. The thing about Caleb is he's going to be the really interesting one to me from this draft class, because obviously they lose the game on Monday night. It's a big spot. He's got Ben Johnson as the coordinator, but there's more to the story with Caleb. Like, with these other guys, no one's talking about Jaden Daniels' leadership. No one's talking about Michael Penix being a distraction. No one's talking about J.J. McCarthy. Is he going to fit well with his head coach in terms of offense? These are all questions that are hanging over Caleb Williams, and the fact that he got the tag of the generational talent, I think, makes him almost in a different category than the rest of the guys. Even though I know Jaden Daniels also won the Heisman, he did not have the hype that Caleb Williams had.
I think you're being a little, what's the word, myopic? I think you're being, because the big report came out, Ty Dunn wrote this story, for his Substack on Caleb Williams' personality and everything that had gone wrong in Chicago. I mean, you're talking about evaluating the whole class. Do you think this is going to stick with Caleb long term? I mean, I feel like he's going to have a long career, and even if he was immature last year, he's going to have a million chances to overcome that.
Well, totally. But here's the thing. It's not just Ty Dunn wrote 27,000 words about what went wrong with the Chicago Bears last year. But we even before that, got a Seth Wickersham book with quotes about how he didn't want to go to Chicago and he had all these reservations. Like, this didn't start with Ty's piece. Yeah. This has started long before. And,
but that's not a negative.
Is he going to have a long career?
Yeah. But not wanting to go to Chicago is logical. That's not I mean, Eli didn't want to go to the Chargers, and he won 2 Super Bowls. So that I don't hold against him. I mean, the stuff in the Ty Dunn thing that he didn't work hard, that he wouldn't listen to coaches. Yeah. That is truly damning.
Not a good leader. Stuff like that.
But I got to be honest. What I saw on the field was far from perfect on Monday night. But there seems to be a lot of promise there. I mean, the guy is incredibly talented. You see that his legs were awesome, and some of his throws are all time, like great throws. Like, he's so talented. I lean towards he's going to be able to overcome any of those problems.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. And a couple of reasons why, not just off of the personality stuff, but is he going to be a good match with Ben Johnson? I'm still wondering that, right? Because, Ben Johnson, from all accounts, and I heard actually our pal Ty Dunn do an interview about this, like, he's not going to change what he wants to do to suit Caleb Williams. Now, I don't love that from head coaches. I think that you have to play up the strengths of your quarterback, and it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. But from what I'm hearing, what people are saying about Ben Johnson, it's like, and he did this in the preseason, here's everything. I'm throwing everything at you, and now it's on you to catch up. And talking to Kyle Brandt, noted Bears fan, and some others, like, people are already looking at Caleb as some kind of entitled NIL baby or whatever, right? And so he's kind of lost, like, the PR battle before this thing is even into the second week of his second season. Now, can he get everybody back? Sure, just win.
What does any of that have to the PR battle? Like, no offense, because I love Kyle, but what does that have to do with anything that's happening on the field?
Well, you also have to add in the history of the Bears, which is they do this thing, and they're not the only franchise to do it, where the coach who didn't draft the quarterback doesn't feel so connected to that quarterback. It's like, do you serve my purpose? Because you've been telling me and other people, you think Ben Johnson is the guy who let's just say things go not up to par with the Bears. Let's say they fall short of whatever internal expectations they have. Who's going to get blamed? And we've talked about this, and you think that it's Caleb, that Ben Johnson is the guy who actually has the upper hand now. If Caleb doesn't do what he wants him to do, is Ben Johnson going to say, I need my own guy?
But he chose Caleb Williams. He had many offers this offseason, so it's different. He wasn't sort of handed Caleb Williams. He chose him very specifically. Could have gone to Las Vegas. Could have gone, I don't know what his other offers were. Definitely Las Vegas.
Could have gone to, the Commanders, but 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Could have Jaden Daniels.
Right. He looked at this offseason and said, I can work with this guy. So I do feel like Ben Johnson is very invested in Caleb Williams. And you know what? If you want to look at the positive, the first 15 plays or whatever, the scripted plays were great. So obviously there was a symmetry there, symbiosis there between the quarterback and the coach.
So we're asking about the second-year quarterbacks, the first rounders. We put Spencer Rattler in here, who actually had a pretty high PFF grade as well for the Saints. But if you put just the first-round class of Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, and Bo Nix, sort of taking a reevaluation of them after week one, Caleb, to me, is the only guy on this list who has to answer any kind of character questions at all. Everyone else, like, no one's questioning anything else about these guys. It would be silly to bring that up about Michael Penix. You'd be like, what? People in Atlanta would be like, you're looking for something that's not there. It's just, that's what stands out to me above all these guys, whether it's from that Ty Dunn article, whether it was Seth Wickersham's book, whether it was, Caleb being called like the first NIL guy, which I don't even think that's necessarily true.
Who called him that?
Well, Kyle did, or that he's one of those NIL new types of athletes who's been getting paid basically his whole college career.
Well, one good thing we know about the media and PR is a guy could be a serial killer, and if he throws 38 touchdowns, every single person will flip-flop immediately 180 degrees and back him and say, I loved him all along. Mm-hmm. You know that's how the world works. If he's good, character concerns are going to be the last thing on anyone's mind. And I mean, even in this game against Minnesota, I mean, some of those plays are like, whoa, he's got, then again, I sometimes say the same thing watching Trevor Lawrence, and that hasn't worked yet. But I don't know. I see him being a good quarterback. Like, I would bet on Caleb Williams being a 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time Pro Bowler.
Is that living up to expectations of the number 1 overall pick to be a 2-time Pro Bowler?
At this point, I think we lowered our expectations on him a little bit. Yeah, listen, does he? I think you're asking questions. Does he sign a second contract with the Bears? Does he get the Bears to the playoffs during his rookie deal? I don't know. Did you think Caleb Williams was going to be Andrew Luck or John Elway or Peyton Manning? I'm not sure. Really, I think he lowered his. I don't think he came in quite with that. Like, we talked about Arch like that. A lot of people say Arch is the first guy. I know there was some of that talk with
Caleb. Let's not rewrite history.
There was some of that.
A lot of it.
Some of that, but I don't know. There was also, like, he's got that C on his head, and, like, it's hard to be a quarterback for the Bears. That was, everybody said that. And Caleb was probably right to say, do I want to go to Chicago? It's a cold weather town, happens to be windy now until they build the dome.
Yeah, they'll get the Dome Stadium, which is exciting. A lot of stadium news yesterday.
Better build that thing fast.
Yeah, get the bulldozers out. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. We're asking about these second-year QBs. How you feeling about them? And particularly Caleb. Our great debate today is, who is the greatest NFL coaching character? Just the guy with the wildest personality, sideline demeanor, all of those things. Let's go back around the room. Tell us, remind the audience, Pro, who you took.
Okay, I went with my hometown team, Philadelphia Eagles, Buddy Ryan.
I went with the current coach, Jim Harbaugh. All the Harbaugh-isms and the fact that he will fight another head coach if he needs to when he stepped to Jim Schwartz. EJ, who do you have?
I went with the man who loved all black and Elvis Presley, Jerry Glanville.
Manny?
A guy who coached the black and silver, John Madden.
And Bogusch is not here right this moment, but he picked Bum Phillips, and that's a great choice as well.
Bogusch is a bum, yes.
Derek is in Baltimore. Derek, we got into a conversation about some of the crazier characters who have coached the 49ers specifically, with Mike Singletary, obviously Jim Harbaugh, who I picked, and Jim Tomsula. Now, you are here because we could not remember what was the funny thing about Jim Tomsula that had to do with the bathroom.
Okay, so here it is. Jim Tomsula farted during a live press conference. That was the thing you guys. Perloff, I see where you was going at.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
I was like, yeah, he's missing it. It was so awkward. Remember, this was the guy that we picked after we fired Jim Harbaugh.
So we have some audio, Derek. Hold on, let's let the audience hear this.
Nothing but respect for them.
A lot of examples in football history of good quarterbacks losing their confidence.
It's Scheffler-esque.
And then he just kept talking as if this is normal for him. Yeah.
You got to keep talking through that, though. Derek, you got to pray no one heard it.
I have been through it all with these Niners. And as far as the injuries go, no Niner fan should be surprised. We have been dealing with this since day one that Shanahan came to us. We dealt with a little bit with Harbaugh, but it was never this extreme. I know Fred Warner and Kittle made a lot of references to the practices being physical. Maybe that needs to change because this is an older team. This is not like one of these young, up-and-coming teams.
Derek,
injuries.
Yeah. Derek, I was talking yesterday, and I think I got a little pushback from the room. Fred Warner is generational, right? Like, Fred Warner is the man. Can we get a little love for him? I need some backing.
Oh, Fred Warner, he is like, we are so spoiled to have went from Patrick Willis to now Fred Warner. Oh, my God, Fred Warner is, and the guy played on a broken ankle last year, which the first 5 weeks of the season, he was clear-cut Defensive Player of the Year. If he doesn't break his ankle, and he continues on that pace that he was playing at, he wins that award hands down. The defense looked good, but Perloff, I'm also going to side with you, and I know you made the comment earlier. People normally call in and say, I ride with Maggie, but today I'm going to side with Perloff. So you are onto something with the Mac Jones thing. So here's the thing.
Let's see.
Okay, so here's the thing. Niners does a lot of team-friendly deals. If you really look at the Brock Purdy contract, the first 3 years, his cap hit is really low for a starting quarterback. So in a sense, yes, we could still make big moves and go after big-time players because you're not paying Purdy much for the first 3 years. But here's the thing. You can also get out of that contract within the first 3 years because his cap hit is so low. If Mac Jones, and I cannot even believe I'm going this route, if Mac Jones balls out against New Orleans, I can see Shanahan saying, yeah, Brock is the guy.
But Maggie thinks Maggie thinks Brock will play, though, Derek.
I think here's my thing. He better play. Listen, I get it's a team-friendly deal. I get it. It's a team-friendly deal. But the contract you signed, the money we are paying you, you better play because the 7th-round pick, last pick, that's out the window now.
Yeah.
But if he does not play, and I get it, it's the Saints, but if Mac Jones starts and he looks good, Perloff, I could just imagine the things you're going to say Monday morning, and I'm going to be like, we don't need a quarterback controversy. For God's sakes, the quarterback carousel for Shanahan is crazy, but really.
Derek, it's amazing. Yeah. It's a great call, and I think you summed it up when you just said, man, have I been through it all with these Niners. It's just so funny to me, and thank you for reminding us about Jim Tomsula farting in a press conference because that is just gold. But you know what's funny about the 49ers? What like a weird like Harvey Two-Face this team can be, which is they're respected, they're successful. They have amazing history. They make smart moves, all that stuff. They have all the bones of a perfect organization that you'd always want to root for. And yet they have these things that are just such blatant, big, like red sirens, like, the Trey Lance debacle, the coaching, the weird coaching hires. Like they have this.
Well, the Jed York, bulky Harbaugh thing was a mess. That was
exactly.
Yeah, they bottomed out in the mid 2010s. Is that what we call that decade? Yeah, no, they were not good for a long time.
It's like they're this really respected organization, but yet they have some of these just really high profile kind of blunder things. It's
I would say since Shanahan got there, they've been consistently excellent.
Yeah,
I mean, they got Trent Baalke out of the building. That was a big addition.
I know, but even in their success, sometimes it's like this double-edged sword because they have 2 leads in the fourth quarter of 2 Super Bowls and they lose.
But that's not organizational. That was
right.
They lost to all-time teams. But can we get back to Mac Jones? A couple facts people might forget about him. Did you know he was an all-world tennis player?
Oh, kind of like Maggie Gray.
Did you know he was a child model too? I was just reading this.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Is it his word against no one's? Who said he was a child model?
Wikipedia.
Okay.
I worked as a child.
Better than the AI overview.
Or it might have been his brother. Somebody
it's
in his family.
Encyclopedia Britannica compared
his
to
dad
AI.
was a tennis player at Florida State University. Yeah, Mac Jones is fascinating. But no, I do want to see it because Kyle Shanahan really wanted Mac Jones. You believe that part, right? Like Kyle Shanahan did not want Trey Lance. Can we all admit there's just no way on earth that he wanted a kid that didn't even play his COVID year at North Carolina State? He got talked into Trey Lance.
Well, then did you really have the conviction about Mac Jones? Because if you were easily talked out of it by a guy who had started like 4 games or less, then maybe you didn't actually have that strong of a
Trey Lance did start a season.
One season and 1 game, right?
Yeah, one sort of exhibition game, which he didn't even play well in. I mean, this is an excuse, but the Trey Lance debacle, as you call it, that was COVID year. Everybody screwed up their quarterback. And by the way, Trey Lance looked pretty good in the preseason, so we'll see about that one there.
With the Chargers, yeah. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Was the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah, no, I think we're.
But he did win the job, didn't he?
Is he a backup now?
Yeah, he beat out a pretty good quarterback for a backup job.
Wait, he's beat out
Taylor Heineke.
Is he the number 1 backup right now for Herbert?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Oh gosh, Herbert, please stay upright.
Trey Lance is not nearly as bad as you guys think. For a guy who can run. Yeah.
I haven't seen him.
He looked good in the preseason. I mean, listen, Herbert is not injury prone, knock on wood, so let's not even talk about that.
Okay, so the question is, who is the greatest coaching character of all time? Keep those coming. That's our great debate for today. We're also asking Can the Niners overcome this early season turmoil? We didn't mention Juwan Jennings, who's also dealing with injuries, but it looks like he's going to play week 2 against the Saints. Again, 888-710-4ISN. And I'm also curious quickly, have the numbers changed on our poll question at all? Which is, when you hold hands with your significant other, do you interlock fingers or do you just go palm to palm? Interlocking fingers is still winning by a wide margin.
Yeah, man. Because that's romantic.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
I didn't realize that me and my husband were in the wrong there.
Oh, God.
If you're palm to palm, you're basically strangers. It's like you might as well just fist bump and walk away.
Yep. Good job, bro.
Like the Obamas, remember? They did that one time at one of the conventions. It was pretty cool. Okay, 888-710-4ISN. Also asking you this question. Will Dan Lanning still be at Oregon a decade from now? 71% of you are saying no. If not, where is he? Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
The Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach. You're listening to Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
You know what's a bummer? Welcome back to the show, Maggie and Perloff. He was a great coach.
Yeah.
And all people remember is that one game, which I actually watched live when they blew a lead against the Bears, and everyone thinks he's the crown 'em guy.
Quarterback was laughing on the sidelines, right? What was that, Derek Anderson?
You know,
It was Liner.
I don't remember. Sorry.
his winning percentage, so he was 113 to 94, 54% winning percentage. 10 years in Minnesota, obviously the 3 years only in Arizona where they did not do well. But, yeah, he was a really great coach.
It was Matt Liner, by the way.
We were talking about the 98 Vikings a week ago because we're doing our Maggie and Perloff King of the Mountain, which we're trying to find the greatest NFL team ever. And it was the 98 Vikings going up against the 72 Dolphins. The 72 Dolphins won last week, so they get to remain this week. And we'll tell you in a few minutes who they're going to be up against tomorrow. But we went back all through that 98 Vikings team. They were incredible. And Denny Green was the head coach, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was the Randy Moss experience. No one had it. The NFL had not been hit by a receiver like that ever because he was different than Jerry Rice. That was and I love Chris Carter too because he was an Eagle. And Randall Cunningham was an Eagle. Everything about it, and they had a great running game too. I am so sorry. They're so much like your Bills. They should have won a Super Bowl.
No doubt. Today we're asking who is the greatest NFL coaching character of all time, which is why you heard that Denny Green sound. So weigh in. It looks like Manny's going to win the poll at Maggie and Pearl on
I'm on
X.
a hot streak. You boys on a hot streak, just saying. I don't want to toot my own horn, but
Yeah, but is John Madden famous as a character, as a coach, or is it everything else combined with his coaching? You might have cheated a little, Manny.
Well, I mean,
maybe I bent the rules knowing that that was going to be something that would sway the people, sway the vote.
Well, it certainly has because John Madden's running away with the poll. But you are welcome to weigh in on who is the greatest NFL coaching character of all time.
Yeah, because the people that EJ, Bogusch, and I picked haven't coached since 1994.
Well, the other thing is we got on a tangent conversation about Jim Tomsula, who was a character because you just heard that he once farted in a press conference. It turns out he wasn't the only character coach to fart. You found a Mike Ditka, but
there's multiple Mike. Everyone knew that about Ditka.
But it wasn't while he was coaching. It was while he was broadcasting.
Yeah, I mean, and it's sort of like
he farted on the NFL Live set?
Many times. I think he was famous for it, as I recall.
Imagine being known for something, and you're Mike Ditka. You got 100 things on your football career that are Hall of Fame worthy.
I seem to recall multiple time offender, but I'm not sure. But Ditka, yeah, he did not care about it. Is Ditka still with us? I'm sorry.
Let's get to Aaron Rodgers.
What the is Aaron Rodgers up to today?
Okay, got a couple things for you.
Dick is still alive, by the way. Sorry about that. But he definitely walked away from any kind of media.
Left us on a cliffhanger on that one. No, Dick is with us. Aaron Rodgers, what's he up to? So glad you asked. So a couple things. Number one, not doing McAfee, it appears. And Mike Florio brought this to everyone's attention. Last week was technically the first week of the season, and then yesterday would have been the first 2 Tuesdays, Pearl, that he would have appeared on McAfee, and Aaron Rodgers was not there. So
Give me Alabama!
maybe we're, getting past that part, and Rodgers is not going to be any bit of a distraction with his McAfee appearance.
I thought the segments would be what is Rodgers up to? We're so desperate for Rodgers content that we're now doing what he's not doing?
Yeah, well, he's not doing interviews on McAfee. That's what he's up to.
Okay.
My dog.
Secondly, here's Ben Roethlisberger, who's got a podcast called Footballin' with Ben Roethlisberger.
Everybody has a podcast.
That's true. He, including us, which you can download and subscribe. 5-star reviews are always appreciated. Ben Roethlisberger watched that Week 1 win against the Jets and was concerned for Rodgers' health.
There were 4 sacks. None of those that I saw were Aaron's fault. There were times he came off a play fake and there was a guy in his face. Maybe some coverage stuff, but it wasn't anything like he's just back there holding the ball forever or whatever. So I'm very encouraged by the way Aaron played. My concern is going to be moving forward, can Aaron take a beating like that every week?
No chance.
Not at that age. No.
More from Roethlisberger said even on plays where Rodgers didn't get sacked, he took some big hits.
Some of those, like even when he didn't get sacked, he got hit so hard like he came off the ground. And he's 40-something, and that's not good.
He's right.
That's not good.
Rodgers did take some big hits in that game.
That's not good.
Rodgers has always got hits. He hangs in the pocket a long time. But so they face the Seahawks this week. The Seahawks got 1 sack in the game. Are you really worried that? I don't know. I don't totally see it. I feel like Rodgers is always taking massive hits his entire career.
Yeah, but now he's 41, right? It's funny that there was, EJ, now I'm forgetting who it was late in the game. Like, Rodgers looked a little dazed as they were picking him up. Now I forgot who hit him.
No.
Must have been Quentin Williams or something.
I think it was Will McDonald.
Yes, it was. And they were talking about how he might not be, how he's coming into his own with this Aaron Glenn defense.
I said, you don't know me.
Yeah, they were peeling him off the ground. Kind of felt a little bit more like that. But to Rodgers' credit, he played really well in the game, threw 4 touchdowns. But if that's all 17 weeks, that could be a problem.
Yeah, this had a tough defensive assignment, but Seattle has got a great secondary, except for Rick Woolen, so just going to pick on him. We'll see. I was very, very encouraged, and it comes back to our guy, Rock Positano. Renowned foot doctor said, watch Aaron Rodgers' legs. He's got so much more confidence. He's got his body underneath him, where last year he did not until maybe the very end of the season. I don't even think that. So if he does stay upright, he's going to clearly be a better quarterback. He's not going to throw 4 touchdowns and no picks every game. In fact, he could take a step back this week, but I'm very optimistic. I really think the Steelers are staring at 10-7 and a wild card exit.
Serendipitous.
I mean, that would just be the same thing they always do.
Yes.
There's nothing changes there. Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the latest headlines.
And they're sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, who protects small businesses with affordable coverage options. Get a quote today at progressivecommercial.com.
Mike T is the man.
So we shouldn't forget about Shiloh, and apparently we shouldn't forget about Ryan Staub either. Deion played all 3 of his QBs last weekend against Delaware. Staub, the third stringer, threw for 157 yards and 2 scores, and now he's expected to start Friday night against Houston.
I was wondering about this with Deion. So, the big thing with Deion is he's still able to recruit at a high level. Even Travis Hunter and Shador are gone, right, who have been with him this whole time. Can you overlook the 5-star high school guy, Juju Lewis, who came in, and that doesn't mean that Staub's going to start the rest of the year, but I was thinking about this from that takes a lot. I know it's Deion, he's an Inner Circle Hall of Famer, but to pass over a 5-star who you presumably paid quite a bit to get to Colorado.
I mean, he might be one of the few guys that can do it. It's Deion Sanders,
wow.
who's Julian Lewis compared to Deion Sanders.
He's so young, though.
Right.
I mean, he reclassified to come in a year earlier to college, right? Like Julian Lewis, I just think his age, you can maybe, and he looks skinny, too. He's not like Bryce Underwood of Michigan, who's massive. I don't think
he's not 18 yet.
He's not 18? Oh.
No. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Juju
like it's
is
too young to
coming
be out
around
there.
the mountain when he comes.
He looks like
That was
a
from
high
media
school
day.
player.
But I get all that, but you also, I guess this is my skepticism. I always have a raised eyebrow that when these 5 stars go somewhere, like there's a plan. Like you either promise playing time or something. Now Deion didn't do that because obviously they brought in
Caden.
Yeah, Caden Salter
Juju said that he thought that he was going to start.
And
Yeah.
he was surprised when they brought in Salter, and then he realized, well, this guy's been starting for 3 years. So
But you were surprised Arch Manning sat for 2 years.
still stunned. Quinn Ewers is in the NFL, and I'm still stunned.
You guys know obviously the connection. Ryan Staub is a lot of Mets fans here. He's
Really?
Leslie Staub's grandson.
He really is?
No
Yeah.
kidding.
I mean, I don't believe. He might be. It was my first thought when I saw his last name, but I just don't trust Perloff anymore. He got us good the other day. Yeah.
He's not.
His face.
I
does he
actually had
have
to double
red
check
hair?
that. At least make sure. No, he has brown hair, and I was wondering if he had red hair. That I would have no connection to Rusty Staub, who probably the young audience has no idea. But that guy was a baller back in the day. Oh, EJ, don't give me that look. Just having a little fun.
I'm annoyed.
EJ, take your headphones off. Let's go back to Sunday afternoon. The Jets hosting the Steelers. Pittsburgh had just taken a 2-point lead early fourth quarter on Aaron Rodgers' touchdown pass to Jalen Warren. This was the ensuing kickoff.
Kick from Boswell. Gibson returning. He loses the ball! The bobble and turnover! Gainwell. The cough up by Gibson, and the Steelers take over.
Iron Eagle J.J. Watt on CBS. 2 plays later, the Steelers were back in the end zone. Now, the Jets did recover to retake the lead, but they lost the game 34-32. So head coach Aaron Glenn said this postgame.
Man, we can't have turnovers. We can't do it. We have to be a more disciplined team. And, again, that's something that will be addressed because you will not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games. You're going to cause issues like that.
Glenn was not lying because this morning the Jets reportedly cutting Xavier Gibson, who fumbled that kickoff.
I've been surprised on a couple things. I was surprised that the 49ers actually cut Jake Moody, their kicker, even though he missed 2 kicks. I was surprised. Apparently, do you know that Younghoe Koo down in Atlanta?
Yeah, trouble.
Real trouble.
Yeah, tryouts, right?
Yeah, because he missed the field goal that would have sent it to overtime. He had been automatic last year until he got hurt. Then he missed apparently 9 kicks last year when he was dealing with a hip issue.
Well, it's kicking. Like even Justin Tucker, who had all this off-field stuff we learned later. Once you lose it, you lose it.
Well,
like
Jake Elliott though kind of lost it
Jake
last,
Elliott came
and then
back.
he
Yeah,
got it back.
Well,
Your guy.
we'll see. We'll see.
Tyler
no.
Bass had lost it, and he got it back. Well, now he's hurt, but
Did he get it back consistently? Do you still trust him?
well, once you miss a few, you're always going to be dicey. But no, he got it back last year.
Finally. I mean, I remember when Nick Folk was a Dallas Cowboy and lost it and then became a Jet and it was awesome. And then the Jets, because they're idiots, let him go. And then he became a good kicker for 3 other teams.
And he's still playing.
And now he's back with the Jets, even though now he's old and can't kick beyond 55
By the way,
yards.
Kicker, they're going to break all kinds of records this year. I'm guaranteeing it.
Yeah.
Did we talk about? I didn't realize the guy hit a 70-yarder in preseason. I think you might have.
Cam Little, I had drafted him on my fantasy team literally because of that.
Yeah, I mean, like they changed the kicking balls. Now you can break in the K balls. Like Brandon Aubrey's going to hit a 75-yarder this off.
By the way, we talk about like disastrous plays. Is there anything as a fan more backbreaking than your team fumbling a kick return?
Special teams, baby.
It is to me like of all the plays that happen in the NFL, pick sixes are bad a lot, but like fumbling a kick, like your offense doesn't get a chance to get on the field and do anything.
What about punt return? The same thing. That happens a lot because the guys trying to catch the ball and someone's bearing down.
But you know what? The punt return almost feels like, what's funny, and maybe this is just me, I feel like I would fumble punt returns because like there's these guys just like waiting for you to muff the punt.
It's a higher degree of difficulty.
It's almost like more concentration, so I understand that. When you fumble on a kick return where you got like 20 yards of running of, basically free space before you touch anybody, it's like it's devastating.
Good to see y'all coming by my
Manny's not
but is it the most devastating play? I mean, just missing the field goal. I mean, I have a little experience with this. Is just awful.
What do you mean? Which one?
Exactly.
I almost feel like the fumble kickoff you almost don't expect. Like a missed field goal, you're kind of like, well, it could happen here. I don't even think about a guy fumbling a return until he does.
It is startling.
It is.
Wait, does that happen a lot? Because the punt return happens all the time.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, return, because they muff a bunch. But on the kick return is more what I was thinking about.
The word I feel terrible when a special teamer makes that mistake. When a guy fumbles a punt, I feel so bad for him because he's probably a borderline on the roster guy, like this guy we were talking about now. That's the word. I watch him walk off with his head down, just feeling awful.
No, the one person I think you can actually feel horrible for in sports are college kickers.
Definitely.
Oh, I mean, now they're getting paid, so it's a little bit different, but you miss a big kick in college, like, that has got to be devastating.
Or when there was a big fumble punt in college this weekend, I'm forgetting where it was, and the guy looked so sad. The little guy.
Skipping off the field.
And the college kickers, like, it almost feels like they're the farthest from like NFL level, I think, than any of the other positions on the field. Because there's some guys, like Miami's guy this year, I saw his career stat line. He was like 7 for 16. I'm like, how is he kicking at Miami? And then he actually ended up making a huge kick in that game. But I'm like, how do you get to Miami with a 40% field goal percentage as a career? He lost his job to somebody else, I think, at Auburn.
Special teams, baby. I'm telling
It's
you.
like the distance. So, like, you get guys, there's some teams where it's like, we can't kick a field goal unless we're inside the 10. Like, sorry. Like, it's crazy.
Right about great debate, right about special teams. It's been a good week for you, boy.
Yeah, SMU has a guy. They got a guy who was a pro prospect, and he completely choked and blew the entire game against Baylor this week. And by the way, you guys know they are following up on those officials for that game. Like, there's a lot of action behind the scenes on that play. People are still going nuts.
You were right on that one.
Yeah, that was all kinds of messed up. But this kicker, they had this big prospect. Like, SMU paid up for this kicker, and he couldn't hit the side of a barn. It's all mental, right? It's not skill.
It's almost like, feels more like golf or baseball, where you can't just say, like, all right, we're going to, like, be tougher, or, like, you know, it's the mental aspect where you actually don't want to press. You know, like, you have a couple bad games as like a linebacker, you lock in, you know, you can just hit people and take it out on them. Like, if you're missing kicks, you can't press. It's just all a mental game.
Yeah, which is impossible.
Not cut out for that.
Because how do you help a kicker too when his confidence starts to go? Like, you can't hype him up. You can't like pep talk, but you're the man.
I think you do like sports psychologists. I think you have to trick yourself into thinking you are the man.
Is anyone else surprised that, like, maybe because I guess they're not good football players, so to speak, in terms of tackling stuff, but I'm surprised more kickers aren't special teams coaches. I don't know if there's any. Like, wouldn't you want, like, a great kicker to be your special teams coach?
You want, like, Adam Vinatieri to be the coach?
Yeah, and I guess maybe say, he doesn't know how to, like, cover or whatever, but I don't know. Can you get another assistant to help him with that?
No. Kickers have nothing to do with any other position.
They're soccer players.
Yeah, they're mentally, they have a different challenge mentally than there's too many other special teams players.
It's so odd, though, because, like, you know, how many quarterbacks are quarterback coaches or running backs are running back coaches?
Yeah, right.
That's the one position where it's just like, no, it's just some guy.
But they do.
Never kick, probably.
Do they have a specialty kicking guy?
I don't think so. I mean, if someone knows, someone knows, then call in. I don't know one.
I mean, we had a kicking broadcaster for a little while, and Jay Feely.
Yeah,
but I think he quit, right? So
I think he's actually running for office. Yeah.
I don't think he's doing this. Is he doing
in Arizona? Right?
Yeah,
I don't believe so.
Didn't he play there?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I think he was in that game that we're talking about. I'm almost certain the Chicago Cardinals game.
Well, it all came full circle there now, didn't it? Because our great debate today is who is the greatest NFL coaching character of all time.
I think that says a lot about EJ, too, that he spends his free time thinking about why no kickers become special teams coaches.
Exclamation point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Neil Racker's kicking in there. Damn it.
Yep. That was not a compliment. Get a life, dude.
And I love how we just had a 5-minute conversation about special teams. I love it.
I was going to say, I mean, who's right there with him? All of us having that conversation. We're not that far away. All right, coming up, Bill Belichick takes an L. Not on the football field, though. We'll tell you what we mean next.
Give me Alabama!
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. I'm told, Perloff, you have some breaking news?
Sort of. Via our friend Josina Anderson. Breaking. Free agent edge rusher Jadeveon Clowney is in Dallas today to meet with the Cowboys, per league source. So it's kind of, I don't know, is a guy in town to meet with the team? So obviously the Cowboys desperately need pass rush after they traded Micah Parsons, and Jalen Hurts was basically got bored. He was in the pocket so long because Dallas did not make a play on the quarterback at all. Jadeveon Clowney possibly there to help the Cowboys. Does that move the needle at all for
I thought
you?
they were trying to get to the rushing game, stop the rushing game.
Yeah, only got to stop the run.
Yeah, well, that became very clear when that Eagles offensive line stonewalled that pass rush. If that's a problem too.
Interesting. Yeah, why not? I mean, if you think he can help, listening to Jerry Jones yesterday on his weekly appearance on 105.3, the fan in Dallas, you would have never thought there was a problem with the pass rush at all. He seemed extremely pleased with everything that was going on. Talk about participation trophies. I mean, you got a GM who's like, well, we're close. So cool. But
I mean, the Eagles moved the ball well until the rain delay. I thought the defense was majorly problematic.
yeah, so did the Cowboys, though, to be fair. Jadeveon Clowney, is he going to set a record for teams played for? We were just talking about kickers and how they bounce around to different teams and lose it and get it back with a different team. I mean, Jadeveon Clowney is a former number 1 overall pick. I've lost count at this point. Has he played for 6 different teams?
Texans, Seahawks, Titans, Browns, Ravens, Panthers.
Yeah. Is that 6?
Yes.
And now maybe the Cowboys is 7?
That would be a 7th. 6 + 1, I do believe, equals 7. I don't think they changed that.
Man.
Well, the Eagles did their version of that. They signed Zadarius Smith, who is also a journeyman as well. There's interesting. I look at a lot of contenders. Like I think the Ravens desperately need to add a pass rusher too. Like Josh Allen, that was unforgivable how much time Josh Allen had. And then I don't know. The Chiefs also felt a little bit like they were real. Their
Herbert
defense
was awesome.
Yeah, their defense was not really getting the trick done. There are a lot of contenders who have holes. I was actually thinking, like, if the trade deadline was not at the end of October, I think you would see a lot of action because it seems like Howie Roseman is all over the place right now. He's trying to bring in a ton of guys.
Do you remember when right after, literally the day after the Cowboys traded away Micah Parsons and got the 2 draft picks from the Packers and got Kenny Clark, and they said, and that may not stop us from trading for a player right now. It's like, guys, the season starts in 4 days.
Yeah.
But maybe they're still wheeling and dealing. Okay, so that's Josine Anderson saying that Jadeveon Clowney is in Dallas today to meet with the Cowboys. Dom is in San Francisco. Dominic, our great debate day, the greatest NFL coaching characters of all time.
Good morning, and thank you again for taking my call. Hope everybody's having a great day. Not a Chiefs fan, but I remember back in the day, Hank Stram, very animated, the plastered-on smile. I believe he only stuck with the one team his whole career.
You know, I think Hank Stram actually coached for another team, Pearl. Was it the the Dallas Texans?
Oh, it is the Chiefs. Yep.
And that was the Chiefs?
Yeah.
They became the Chiefs. Right, of course.
Chiefs.
Okay. Yeah, so same organization. Pardon me.
And the best candy bar ever, without a doubt, is Chocolatey Payday. When it first came out, it was known as Big Pay.
By the way, Hank Stram did a stint with the Saints. I didn't just look at this up. I had no idea. Don't remember that.
Kind of did remember that.
76, 77?
Yeah, I forgot why I knew that.
I did not realize that.
Wait, Dom, why'd you bring up the candy bar? I'm sorry. Did this just go over my head?
Because I bought one yesterday and it brought back, and it is without a doubt the best candy bar.
Too many peanuts for me though, Dom.
Chocolatey Payday, and it was called what when it first came out? Do you remember?
I have no idea. It's only been a Payday my whole life.
They have Payday and they have what is now called Chocolatey Payday, which the chocolate accents the salty caramel, which is like a buzz thing now anyway. But when it first came out, it was called Big Pay.
Huh. Okay. Well, thank you, Dom. We learned a little something today. Still too many peanuts, even with the chocolatey. Pearl?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a Payday.
Oh, by the way, we have a whole bunch of Snickers bars in the office. So
I did not know that.
Yeah. King of the Mountain. Tomorrow, we are doing week 2 in the Maggie and Perloff, our search and quest for the greatest NFL team of all time. So last week, head-to-head, we had the 1998 Minnesota Vikings, Pearl, against the 1972 Miami Dolphins. And you guys voted at Maggie and Pearl on X. No surprise, the 1972 Dolphins are now the King of the Mountain. So now, as we go to week 2, they need a new opponent. So, EJ, let's get the randomizer up. And who will the 1972 Dolphins be facing tomorrow?
All right. It's spinning now. It's spinning. To quote Chris Rock, 78 Steelers. You want to talk about a clash of titans. This is going to be fun.
Okay, 72 Dolphins versus 78 Steelers tomorrow to see who continues on as the king of the mountain.
Going to give them their first loss ever, those 72 Dolphins.
Man,
Wave that yellow towel. Call in tomorrow.
EJ Stewart, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan, you guys, the Weedos and Coffee Drinkers. See you tomorrow.
They are who we thought they were.
You're in a